What is going on, Casually FC? Welcome back to another Casually Chelsea show. My name is Marshalldbdx, and I'm accompanied by my panel of Chris, Scott, and Ahmed. As usual, guys, before we start the show, which we have plenty to talk about with you guys, be sure to smash up the like buttons, because right now during international break, views and engagement do stagger a bit because it's not really much to talk about. But we do a weekly show here, so we got plenty to talk about in this show for you guys. As an accumulation of all the things that have happened in the past week and a half since we've done our last show. But as a result of just stagnant international break stuff and not really much news to talk about, hitting that like button would help us out tremendously in helping out the algorithm and spreading the word that Casually Chelsea or Casually FC is a channel. So smash up the like buttons. Subscribe if you're new to the channel because it does help out as well. Hit the bell notification so you don't miss out when we do go live. And also be sure to check out the links in the description. Leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think about everything we're going to be talking about today. And if you are in the chat, big up to you guys. Be sure to check out the memberships as well, starting at 99p. So that being said, ladies and gents, let's start off with our first topic, which is, I think it's finally going to happen. We're finally going to be sponsored. Here it is. So starting off with the first tweet by Simon Phillips, Chelsea hosted and pitched to Saudi national airline Riyadh Air this week as club continues search for long-term shirt sponsor. One of several, including betting firm Kayun in mix. Club wants £60 million per year across men and women's team. This is coming from Adam Crafton. Then we move on. PYS here. Basically restating what Luke Class was saying. Infinite Athlete will be the front of shirt sponsor this season for a deal worth £43 million. Infinite Athlete will then become the sleeve sponsor from the 2024 season to the 2025 season, with Riyadh Air then becoming potential front of shirt sponsor. Kayun offered a £38 million for the season's front of shirt and came close. Moving forward, we have more news here as well. After Infinite Athlete sponsoring the Chelsea shirt this season, Riyadh Air is a potential front of shirt sponsor for the 2024-2025 season, which I just stated before, but this is their logo. This is essentially what it would kind of look like with the blue.
I'm not a big fan of the big R. Like I'm guessing it's trying to be like an R. I'm not a big fan of that. Just give me the word. That's it. The letters, not the big thing above it.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Here, there's also another tweet here. Chelsea are looking to secure a front of shirt sponsorship deal worth up to £60 million a year if it qualifies for Champions League group stage. I mean, that would be a pretty good deal. I think that would be the best deal in the Premier League, I'm pretty sure, for front of shirt sponsor, right? Because we just talk about.
I think Man United might have better still. Not Man. Yeah, Man United might have better.
I have no idea.
I think we vaguely touched on this. I don't remember who knew the numbers off the top of their head, but I think we vaguely touched on this. I think currently Arsenal has the best deal right now at like 50 million a year or something like that. I don't know, but the point is, it's a good amount of money, £60 million a year for the front of shirt sponsor, and we do need to get it done. It's kind of embarrassing that we're reaching the first quarter, I want to say, of the season, and we still have not had a front of shirt sponsor yet. But yeah, what do you guys think?
I think it's fair as well if we qualify for Champions League. Like, that's fair. It goes up to 60 million. I just want to sponsor at this point because like I got my top without the sponsor, so I'm happy. But yeah, like it's just extra money to bring into the club. Like whatever sponsor comes 40 or above million, I'm fine with really. Not longer 2 contract, like a 3-year contract would be nice as well, just in case you want to change. But yeah, like, I'm fine with like whatever sponsor we get at this point, as long as it's not number 3, that ugly ass logo, and just never come back. Anyone else wanna?
I was gonna say, what were you gonna say, Chris? But yeah, I mean, listen, guys, I get it. It's been a slow week. It's been a slow week and a half. There's not really much to talk. There are some things to talk about.
There's a sponsor, like,
really, yeah. We got to ramp it up, you know. Like this, we got to start small and then we get into the better topics.
Yeah,
honestly, I guess go on.
I will say this. I'll go into this next topic, right? The shirt leak. I can't believe this is happening already. We only just got our shirts, and there's already a shirt leak happening. But apparently, this is what the shirt is going to look like next year. And if we get Riyadh Air as the sponsor, which I think this looks good. I like this. I think I'd rather Infinite Athlete.
This is, by the way, this is a mock-up. By the way, this is a mock-up. So this is not even how it looks. Yeah, so it's not even gonna probably how it looks like.
It says.
It's better than a free.
I also think Riyadh Air is better than Infinite Athlete, or looks better.
Really? Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I think they're both nice though. It's better than Steak, which we were potentially gonna get, and I think it's better than the 3. But this is basically like a mock-up, like you said, Ahmed. The reason this ended up being a mock-up is because the tweet right here, footy headlines: Chelsea Football Club's new 24-25 home kit is set to be an interesting one. It has been leaked by leak guru Gold This Sergio. The Nike Chelsea FC 24-25 home football shirt introduces a first in the club's history. It combines the traditional blue, white, and with a reddish orange. I was told. Oh, I guess actually when I talk about the home football shirt, they're not wrong when they say it's a first. But apparently there was a alternate, or was it a third kit or an away kit that did have orange in it for Chelsea way back in the day. But yeah, so we're gonna have some orange in this shirt next season. I'm gonna go back to this previous tweet just to look at this mock-up. I think this looks nice.
It's a bit odd, like we're already planning our next year's kit. Like we only just got our new kit right now. I've never seen.
I know. That's what I said.
No football club.
I'm not surprised to be honest. You know,
go on.
I'm not too surprised because at the end of the day, man, you know what they say, man. Failure to prepare to fail. The club probably already have these plans in position for quite a while, to be honest.
I mean, true. Yeah, they always do these long-term planning things as well. I could see that, but we haven't even gotten introduced to the alternate kit, have we?
It doesn't really matter.
We only got the away kit and the home kit, right?
No, we know the alternate kit. I think it's that lime green one, isn't it? Yep, correct. Or not lime green. That the
mint one.
Thing. Yeah, that one. Not lime green.
Oh yeah. It was like a mint green kind of. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Wow. Yeah, geez, that was so long ago. Yeah, I wonder when that one's gonna come out. Freaking A.
They'll probably release somewhere in mid-October, knowing them. That's usually what the plan is.
I would hope so. Hey, have you gotten a new kit yet? The new away kit?
What, me?
Yeah, Ahmed, you're the one that buys all the kits all the time.
Yeah, you buy them off a dodgy site.
Sadly, you know, I've got too much money to be doing that nonsense. But no, I don't. I only got the home kit. I prefer I like to buy the home kits personally. If the away kit is nice, I'll buy them.
This guy, did you guys know that little humble brag he just had right there? Like, this guy.
Humble? I wasn't humble, man. I was just pure bragging it.
Yeah, I was just being a dickhead there. I'll be honest.
I mean, nothing new there. But I think this kit is it does look nice. I wouldn't mind this kit next season. We'll see, right? I mean, I don't know if anyone wants to add anything. The rumored kit is disgusting. You can't satisfy everyone. People are always gonna be mad at the kits.
What should be something completely different, man? It's gotta have different stripes or something on the home kit or something. It's gonna be completely different. This is gonna be this leak is gonna be completely wrong.
If it has orange and it looks anything like that kit from 2 seasons ago with all the random stuff on it, not the Yokohama one, the one with the zigzags and the half. I hated that kit so much. That kit was horrible.
You're talking about the one on the 2 called the Lukaku season.
Yep. Is
that the one that looks like a bus seat?
No, yeah, the one that with all the weird patterns. It was meant to look like different parts of Stamford Bridge.
It looked like a bus seat to me.
Wait, it was meant to look like different parts of Stamford Bridge? I never heard that.
Yeah,
apparently. Yeah.
I
can't lie to you guys. Yeah, man. I've got that with Lukaku's name on the back, which I have to sell.
You should burn it.
You know, I actually bought that on the day, bro. That scored the 2 goals against Aston Villa. Wow.
And then he betrayed you a few months later.
I didn't even want it. That's the ironic thing, man. But
Why did you get his name then?
Honestly, like, I was like, oh, that was such a good game. Like, I need to give him some proper, I'm saying.
Oh,
But
the
you know
Arsenal.
what?
Yeah, it was a very good game.
That's
You
all
just
it
got Reece
takes.
James,
That's
man.
all it
Reece James had a
takes.
really good game.
Mm.
Unless you or do you have Reece James? I don't know.
Yeah, I already have James. I have that on my
Yeah,
the
I
weekend
need this.
from last year.
I do need his name.
All right. Well, maybe if Mikhailo Mudryk has a really good game, just like Lukaku, you'll get him too.
That's why I've got a no name on this one. The new kit.
I got
refuse to get a
Enzo.
name. On the new kit, I
Yeah.
refuse to get a name. That's the badge is enough for me today.
I thought you got
I'll say
Caicedo.
enough.
Enzo's the only dude I would get on
Yeah.
the back of the shirt.
Caicedo's up there. We'll see. But okay. So a few more things to discuss really quickly before we get into some more spicy stuff. Let's talk about apparently there's some new additions being added to Stamford Bridge. God damn it, this is so fucking boring. We're talking about new statues. I know. Chelsea's owners hope to continue their attempts to spruce up Stamford Bridge by erecting 2 giant lion sculptures outside the ground at a cost of £2 million. Chelsea are currently have currently submitted an application to Hammersmith and Fulham Council for permission to 2 8-foot lion sculptures as displayed at the club's badge stand outside the Stamford Bridge at the cost of $2 million. According to the application, they will be up to 8 feet tall. That's pretty big actually. But
That's
they
pretty
look
good.
nice.
It needs to be tall as Stamford Bridge, man.
What? Just
Why
can we
does it
just
need to be
get?
like
Like,
Can we just
let
get
it be
the
tall as
statues
that.
of the players? Can we get statues of like?
Imagine the away team seeing 2 huge ass lions.
They're not going to
on the
do that
bridge.
until the new stadium comes about. I'm just gonna let you know right now. That the statues that you're looking for, it's
Yeah,
not gonna
it's
come
not
out
gonna
until the new stadium comes out. Then they'll probably put like
Wait,
a
but do
Lampard
you
probably there.
do you think that because I found it a little odd that they're bringing up putting statues even though they're building a new stadium, or building a new stadium, quote unquote. Do you think this is kind of a sign to us that like maybe they're gonna expand somehow on Stamford Bridge and not gonna move the location?
They're not moving location.
Yeah,
That's
they're
already
not.
been confirmed.
I thought they were gonna
The
build like next to it or something.
No. So
I'm
the
forgetting
thing,
my news already. Okay.
Yeah.
Man,
So
you need to relook at it.
basically, like the stuff they're building right now, like for example, like if you go back to the picture, because it's actually like an engineering picture, so I can understand it quite well because I was reading,
Okay,
I did a video on it too.
Give me 2
So
seconds.
you can actually a lot of the time with statues, right? You can actually move them. That's the thing, like especially if they're like freshly made and you're putting them on top of like a totem, which is what they're doing. That you can just move them with quite a lot of ease, like as long as you have the hauler or like the stuff that you need to move them on with.
Oh
So,
shit.
Yeah, so like,
Hold
so
on, I
you
got
can
you.
just literally move. So you can literally just move them on. You can build whatever you want to build afterwards. Yeah. So like that just shows you like how they plan to build it, the size of whatever's going to be done on there from this first glance only. So it's not too bad at the end of the day. But like the problem, I think what they're just trying to make it decorative as possible. But once they
Okay,
get the planning
so-
permission and everything, they're going to move it on.
If I'm reading this correctly, this line where my mouse is, this red line that's outlined around, this is the expansion.
No. That's just what Stamford Bridge is. That's the whole Stamford Bridge line. It's the whole area. Of
Okay,
Stamford
so
Bridge.
this is the area they own. Even this little
Yeah, this is the
alleyway
area of
here
the
is just
bridge.
kind of weird. Okay.
It's the one thing I hope. Are they gonna expand the pitch like how like wide it is? Because it's too narrow. I feel like it needs a little bit more wider. Like Stamford Bridge pitch is very narrow for like compared to a lot of pitches I've seen. So I don't know. I hope they like make it wider or something. It might help Mudryk, in like 6 years' time.
Maybe. But hey, I mean, listen, for the match going fans, you'll have some nice statues when you fucking go to Stamford
dare
Bridge.
someone to
You
climb
may
it.
not win trophies anymore, but you'll get nice statues. I'm kidding. We're gonna win trophies, I hope. But okay. Let's go on to the next topic I wanted to discuss. This is where things get a little interesting, guys. Okay, your favorite manager has showed his face in public again. We finally have news of what's been going on with Mr. Graham Potter. So this happened, and it was surprising to hear. Graham Potter, according to L'Equipe, Lyon owner John Textor met with Graham Potter this week, his prime target to replace Laurent Blanc. Moving on to the next tweet here, Graham Potter has met with Lyon about their manager's job, but it's understood the timing was not right for him, and he won't be going there. This is coming from Matt Law, and then you have here David Ornstein confirming Graham Potter has declined a chance to replace Laurent Blanc as Lyon head coach. 48-year-old approach and top target for Olympique Lyon saw as appealing, but decided not right time to return. Continues to evaluate future after leaving Chelsea. Guys, I think Chelsea really fucked up Graham Potter. I'm not gonna lie.
Not really. He's the one that chose not to go there.
Maybe.
No, but I mean like mentally.
Go to Saudi, man. You get your confidence there, man. You might...
Like this guy had the confidence to come to Chelsea. Well, okay, it was fueled by like a lucrative contract, of course, but like, you know, this guy. Let's not deny it. When he was at Brighton, he was kind of cooking something.
Have you seen the situation at Lyon, by the way?
No.
You want to enlighten me?
I know
things are not good. Yeah, I just don't know the details.
He left it. Like, he just left a terrible situation at Chelsea, and now he wants to go to somewhere else where there's a terrible situation. If I'm him, he probably wants to go to somewhere that's a bit of a lot more stability.
Oh shit! They're bottom of league right now.
Yeah, like I watched.
So you guys think it's pressure?
Yeah, I watched Lyon. Lyon, like, are not doing great, bro. Laurent Blanc is playing terrorist football. Like, I refuse to watch that ball. Like, I'm only watching just to watch like other guys play, but he literally plays terrorist football. There's no doubt about that in my mind.
Okay, so you reckon that it wasn't really like quote unquote the right time to return, but more so the fact that like, bro, you're gonna give me this club that's in shambles. I'm not gonna take this job.
It's literally like it's the same reason why he didn't even take the Nice job, because the Nice situation is hella.
Was he offered the Nice job?
Yeah, he was.
Oh, I didn't know this. Where did you find that out?
That was like ages ago, like in the summer. In the summer, he got offered the Nice job. Yeah,
I did not hear anything about this. This is the first.
Yeah, this is the first time I've heard a pod.
Yeah, this is Ahmed. This is an Ahmed. Here we go.
No, I'm being serious. He was actually offered the Nice job.
Maybe I would say Saudi, but maybe no Saudi clubs want him. Like, they got Stephen. Isn't John Terry actually coach there now?
We will get into that.
Oh, right. Okay.
But with this one, I mean, listen, it failed at Chelsea.
Blue hell. You know what it is, Blue hell. The reason the Chelsea contract was a one-time thing. He's getting 12 million straight. That's what they get. They already gave him 12 million straight. So his severance package has already been given to him. So
yeah. So I think if Potter goes to another club where there's not a lot of pressure, I think he'll do okay. I think he was doing really good at Brighton with what he had. I think he was doing pretty well for where he left Brighton versus where De Zerbi's taking it now. And it just didn't work out at Chelsea. I think it was too much pressure, way too much pressure for the guy. I think I don't know. Why didn't it work at Chelsea, guys?
Well, because like he went down to 12th, 14th and all that. Like, he just couldn't get any results, and that's the thing with like being a big club. If you don't keep,
why didn't he get the results? Is what I'm getting at. Is like, do you think it was the pressure? Because he had the.
I'm not sure he have the tactics. I'm not sure he just didn't have the players on his side. Like, it could be a mixture of both as well. Like, he just couldn't get anything out of the players. He tried taking them to a military ground to get something out of the players. Like, he's probably going to all the wrong places to fucking get the best out of the players. Like, he actually took them to a military base thinking that's going to fix everything. He signed a rugby mental coach or whatever it was to try to fix it.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Yeah, wherever he's at now.
Actually, it wasn't him unironically, though. That was sort of a funny thing.
Yeah, I know, but I tried everything, like, try to get Chelsea, like, mentally stronger, better, more results and all that, but it just didn't work. And yeah, I just didn't like Potter either, because I didn't really like how Potter talked after the games as well. Like, the boys gave everything like 3-4 times or something. Like, I just got tired of it.
He just didn't. There's some people that just can't do it at the top level, and for me, he's just one of them ones.
Oh, fair enough.
It's great though, because we've suddenly got worse.
Well, right now we're 12th. We're literally where we're starting.
Oh, we're playing worse football, by the way, than we were under Potter.
Well, you think we're playing worse football?
Yes, at least under Potter.
Yeah,
At least under Potter,
Right.
Potter, for the most part, we were defensively sound. Couldn't attack for shit, but we were defensively sound.
We
Now
created
we're-
chances.
Okay,
now-
I
now
hear
we-
that. I hear that. I actually hear the defensive part, but attacking wise, we created I think we created more chances in part, like to start off with. But we have
Scott, we created chances with Potter, right? Isn't that what
yeah,
we
did.
agree on that, right?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
But we
We're
didn't
playing
have
a shitty
We're
striker.
playing worse now. Like, no one can tell me otherwise. We're playing worse now. And this isn't to defend
he's not
Potter
lying.
or say that he's good. Like, Potter ended up being shit. He ended up being terrible. The fact that we've got worse, despite the fact that we've had a window where we've theoretically improved, is funny. I don't know, it's just funny.
I was gonna say the one thing Potter didn't do is play like a left back at left wing, but then again he played Sterling at wing back, so they've done both done something bad so far. Maybe Potter he
Yeah,
lied.
well, I mean, I don't know.
I'm not moved, honestly. I'll be real. Obviously, luckily next week Sunday, Chelsea's playing. Let's hope he does something different. That's all I can say to that right now.
Yeah, hopefully. Speaking on Chelsea as well, our manager came out with some comments, and I thought we would kind of address these and see where he's coming from with this.
What happened? What did he say? I actually don't know what he said.
I don't know what he said.
I feel like Scott already knows.
This guy in his comments, bro. We spoke about. I saw him yesterday. They were from yesterday. I saw him yesterday. Got pissed. Was going to put them in the Sarcasm City group chat, and I just didn't in the end. And then we spoke about this. Like, this dude needs to stop talking. He's been here for what, 2 months, and has managed to piss me off with his press conferences already because he just flip flops every press conference.
Fair enough. I mean, yes, and we'll get into what Scott means when it comes to flip flopping. I know where he's coming from. Mauricio Pochettino was asked how far Chelsea are from winning trophies, and he says, I think months. We want to win this season. We want to win. All we are involved. We want to win all we are involved in, the Carabao Cup, FA Cup, and the league. We want to play for a win. We cannot say in 1 year, in 2 years, or in 3 years, in circumstances we need to be positive and work. We don't have time to waste thinking about the future. We need to perform today. Now, that's one thing that kind of contradicts what he said last week about wanting time. And not even wanting time. He didn't say wanting time, but about asking the fans that we need to be patient, right? So, okay, that kind of contradicts itself. And then another question that was asked from Mauricio Pochettino was, how have you found the transfer window? He responded with, tough. I knew before I signed that this is the situation, and this is why I'm not complaining and saying nothing negative. I think it's positive, as are the projects they create and have in mind. They're doing fantastic show and trying to do what they wanted. I think it's a little hard to really understand where Poch is and what he wants when it comes to this team. Is he expecting us to like win now and actually like compete and be ready to compete? Or does he think we need time? We need to be patient. I don't know. It's kind of a weird catch-22 there, or a little bit of a contradictory. I should say. It's not really a catch-22.
There's another hypothetical here. Oh, he's just chatting shit for the camera.
I mean, yeah, it could be. It could just be trying to look good for the sake of looking good.
For me, I genuinely just think that's what's going on right now, man. He's just chatting shit for the camera, man. You know what I mean? He just say whatever he feels like. You know, I know that obviously the club now, it seems to be a bit more what the PR guys now involved in the manager stuff, whatever they're talking and everything. So it wouldn't be serious if that's like if they're giving him some sort of talking points to say and everything. So honestly, for me, I couldn't give an absolute Scooby-Doo like what he says in the interview. Like like when he joined, he's like, at Chelsea, you must win. That's just all there is to it. This and now, you know, remember this is like after that, what's it called, the Nottingham Forest game? We need time, we need patience, etc., etc. You know what I mean? One second is patience, 1 second it's winning, 1 second is a little bit of pressure. What next is gonna be I cannot help this team. So you know what I'm saying? That's all it is.
What?
Yeah, maybe there was some major damage last season, and he thought like it'd be a different team. Nah, like it's gonna need some time, I think, probably. But I hope we actually do win like a Carabao Cup or FA Cup still, and get top 4. I do want to see that, but I don't see it. I don't see us winning a trophy anyway. I can maybe still see us getting top 4 and stuff, but there's gonna be some time, man. Like,
Do
we're
you see
starting
us
with a flow.
getting close? Do you see us getting close to winning a trophy?
I think we'll get to a Carabao Cup semi or maybe even final, but yeah, FA Cup I don't think we'll get to final. Nothing, no. Carabao Cup, yeah, probably, maybe. It's depending how Poch takes it as well, how serious he takes it. If we play like a bunch of like 18-year-old, 20-year-olds like most of the way, then we probably go out. But
I'll just be real. He has to win. He has to win either FA Cup or Carabao Cup. You know what I'm saying? There's no ifs, buts, or maybes. He needs to win. He must win. As simple as that for me.
Why?
and get top 4, right?
Yes, top 4 on a trophy. Listen, we should not be dropping our stat. Listen, 1 game a week. He should be able to win a Carabao Cup or FA Cup with his team. What are we doing here?
I can see that, but we just got a lot of young players. Maybe they're gonna need some time. I don't know, because like most of our players are like under 22.
See, this is where I kind of side with Chris, because like, Ahmed, I get what you're saying. Like, let's not drop the standard. And I would agree with you if our team was the team that played the Legends game yesterday, right? I believe that was, or 2 nights ago.
2 days.
It was 2 nights ago. Yeah, 2 nights ago. If we had that team, I'd be like, yeah, we can't drop the standard. Like, we should be competing for the Premier League. We should be winning all the cups and all that stuff. But this is like an inexperienced team. And don't get me wrong. Like, I think like if we look at the big picture, right? And you look at the 3-year contract that Poch signed. If he stays that 3 years, in that 3 years time, I expect what he does with this Chelsea project to be compete for the Premier League, or even get really close to winning that Premier League, at least in one of those seasons, right? You have to win a Carabao Cup and an FA Cup in that run, and you have to get us back in Champions League and competing in Champions League. Like, that's what I think we should be at by the end of the 3-year tenure. I don't know if we should be like, by this year we got to win the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, and then next season we have to be competing for the Premier League. I don't know. It seems, or even this season.
By the end of this, that final season, I'm gonna say now, based on what the club has done in the transfer window, based on what he has himself has said, based on what the club is doing, that 3rd year needs to be a title challenge.
I agree.
I would agree. Yeah. Yeah.
And when I say challenge, I'm talking. When I say challenge, I'm talking single-figure points, within single-figure points of whoever is first.
We like challenge, meaning like if it has to go until the end of the season to decide who wins it between Chelsea and Man City, or Chelsea Arsenal, or
not
Chelsea
even end of the season, Mark. Like not even end of the season in terms of like the final day of the season, but just towards the end of the season. I'm talking. We need to be within 9 points of whoever finishes first.
Yeah, like
and I'll be honest, depending on what we do next summer, I'd maybe even expect that next summer, or like next season. Again, based on what he said, and this is the thing, and I don't know if you guys, while I was on mute, but if this guy just like kept it consistent, like if he just didn't say what he said in the post-match press conference last weekend, I'd have no issue with his quotes, because then I see it as a consistent level of thought, and like, okay, you're not here to do what we thought you were to do, which is to develop these young players. You're just here to win now, which I'm calm with. I'm fine with.
Yeah.
That's the mindset, that's the expectations, and that's the thought which we know to go forward. So Mudryk not playing consistently, I know we'll get to him later on, but him not playing like consistently right now makes sense, because all you're trying to do is win now, and he's not ready for you to. He's not ready to contribute in a team that wins now. So that makes sense. You know, having a midfield free of Enzo, what's his name? Gallagher and Caicedo right now makes sense, because that 3 makes sense right now, because you're going for a win now mentality. It makes no sense to chuck Cucurella in there and develop him, because that's not what you're planning. That's not what he's going forward. You've just talked about it literally a week ago. A week ago, you talked about we have a lot of young players. They need to develop this, that, and the other. We need to have patience. Okay, cool. So it is about developing young players as well. So the expectations then change.
You know what it's got? Yeah. You know what it's got? Yeah. And I said, this is why I said, he has to win a Carabao Cup, FA Cup. If he's the one that's setting the standards, You have to win
Fair.
something. Like for me, if
Yeah.
you're setting that standard, that must mean that I already said top 4 has to be priority anyway this season. But winning a cup has to be priority. Then you have to show you mean business. That this is not a Pochettino of old from when he was at Southampton or when he was at Tottenham. That's what he has to do. But also I understand CFC Duvan when he was saying, but of course he has to win games first. Win the games first and get the cup as well. Simple as that for me.
Yeah, and you know what? You guys both brought up really good points. And Scott, you brought up this one, which is, I think all of us here in the panel thought that when Poch was announced that he was going to be the manager, I think all of us had this idea that he's going to come in and develop this project. I don't think he's going to compete until maybe the 3rd season, get it ready and all that stuff. But you're right, Ahmed. He's come in and he's set up all these standards for himself. And now, you know what? I agree with you, Ahmed. Yeah, if he's going to be saying all this, if he really believes in this team that they can win all this stuff, then win me at least a Carabao Cup or FA Cup. One or the other. And I think I'd be content.
He's talking the way he is, and I don't understand it because I don't think anyone in the fan base expected us to win a league title this season. I'll be completely honest. I don't think anyone in the fan base expects us to win a league title with the team here's how it is, and with City still being how they are. I'll be completely honest. Unless we improve to the level of City, we're not winning a league title full stop at all until Pep leaves at this rate, because that's how good the City team are, right? Yeah. Obviously, Arsenal put them all the way, but they fell off because they're not City. So but if you're talking about it's going to take months to win titles, okay, so as I said, I expected maybe a cup, but finishing in Champions League minimum, preferably in the top 4, but we could also take 5th, but preferably in the top 4. That was my expectation aim for the season. Maybe a cup, top 4. As you said, the way he's talking, cool. I expect at least 1, maybe 2 cups this season. I expect top 4 minimum, 100%. And next season, I expect a title challenge. That's the way you're going on about things.
Yes.
Actually, I might even, depending on how much he keeps going on about this, I don't even expect a title challenge this year. Because the way he keeps talking about old titles, it's success. What success titles? League titles, Champions Leagues. So don't give me patience. Don't give me the patience bullshit and then come out with this nonsense afterwards.
And the other thing too that the thing is, no one in this Chelsea team knows the potential of the Chelsea players better than the manager, I would say. Because the manager sees what is going on the training pitch. The manager makes the decisions on who is going to play, obviously, and they get to see how people are developing. They are involved with making a development plan and all that. They see the potential is what I'm saying, right? So if you're going to come out here and say all these things about winning this, competing in this, winning the FA, all the trophies you're possibly winning and setting up a high standard, then surely that gives us, the viewers, this idea that, okay, you're seeing something that we're not seeing. You're seeing that these players are capable of doing this.
Yep.
So I think you guys are right. I mean, if he's seeing something in the players, then I could see the potential that, then you know what? If you're setting the standard, Poch, you are our eyes in that training ground, and you see what the players can do. Then if you think we're able to win a cup, then win us a cup. Simple as that. And don't walk it back. Don't fucking ask for patience and shit. Yeah.
But
I get it in the sense of injuries though as well. But go ahead, Scott.
Adri? I do apologize that how to say your name.
Adri.
As he said, we can all see the team isn't ready for the league. But again, it's like you said, it goes back to if Poch is playing he has these guys week in, week out, and he's saying the expectations are to win. Cool, you're saying this squad is ready to win then. You're telling me that these players in the squad is ready to win. So I can judge these players based on these players are ready and can contribute to win a league title. So when I'm seeing Mudryk play, and I'm seeing Gallagher play, and I'm seeing Chilwell play left wing, and I'm seeing Brozier as our second choice striker right now, maybe Washington, but regardless, right? I'm seeing Sanchez in goal. I'm seeing who else? I'm seeing a centre back playing left back in Colwell. So I'm able to, because of the way you're theoretically speaking, obviously there comes a bit more nuance and a bit more common sense that we can use, but just as a kind of base level argument, I can judge these players based on the fact of like these guys are ready to win league titles. So cool. That changes completely how I look at these players. Every single player I just mentioned there, Chilwell, Sanchez, Mudryk, Gallagher, none of those players are good enough if we want to win league titles. None of them are good enough. I'm sorry. None of them are good enough. Mm-hmm. I question whether right now Brozier is able to contribute to a title winning team. Same with Washington, just because I've not seen him play. I question whether Jackson can contribute to the level to win titles. I really like Jackson. I don't think he can I don't think he's going to be the guy that helps us win a league title now. And it's stupid because it just raises the expectation and raises the kind of scrutiny on these players. Because this team is obviously, if you think they are able to win a league title, fans can think they can win a league title, and you judge them differently. I'm judging these players differently now a little bit, just based on the fact that the manager thinks we can win league titles.
Don't you think like the manager just said that just to give these players confidence because they're like a young bunch of players, like you can go out to the very end and like win all these games, but obviously if he said we're not going to win the league, then maybe it doesn't add any confidence to him.
You know what I'll say to that, Chris? Though, yeah, there's something that you can say all you want from me as a manager. I don't care what you say in public, but because what you say in public, yeah, unless like for example, it's like a Ten Hag thing of where he was literally calling out Sancho, right? Then it doesn't matter what he says otherwise, because what he's telling you in private, what he's telling you when you have meetings with this guy on the club and everything, that's what usually matters when he's taking these team meetings. So that's all that matters for me.
I just thought about actually probably adds pressure on the players as well, though, like saying it in public, I guess, like saying, oh, they can go and win the league. It might add a lot of pressure for the young players as well, but I never really get too bothered like what managers sometimes say, unless they're just repeating over and over every interview, then it does my head in, or come up with like...
Well, the thing is, he's not repeating that video after video, bro. He's got every single time he's got something new honky-dory.
Yeah.
So, like, honestly, man, just fix up, bro. That's what it is.
He needs to change Chilwell at left wing first for me, though. That's the first thing he has to do.
Yeah.
Then maybe do
and I
his
think there
interviews.
will... And I'm hoping that there will come a point where he is forced to do that, to change that up. And I'm hoping that happens with the injuries and people coming back as well. What'd you say, Scott?
It's now. In terms of him changing up, it's now. I will keep reiterating this fact until I see something to tell me otherwise. We are in our easiest run of the season. You literally couldn't have asked for a better run to start the season, bar the Liverpool game. You could not have asked for a better run, apart from maybe facing like... Actually, we're facing Burnley, apart from maybe including Sheffield United, because I don't think we play them for the first time till like November, December, right? We are in our easiest run, and we don't look like a football team. October 21st, we have to play we play 7 games in a row, where our easiest game in that is against, I want to say, Brighton. I could be wrong about that, but I think our easiest game in that run is against Brighton.
They need some confidence too, Scott. Like winning a couple of these games before facing the big teams, they need some confidence they can win a game. If they don't win any of these games and then they go into like these all big games, it's gonna look bad. Like it could be like low points until like midway through season.
Apologies, I was wrong. The easiest team we face is Brentford, who are currently on a run and have an informed striker.
And Bumo, yeah. So
I'm gonna keep it real.
We're not in Bumo. I'm sorry.
Bumo, mate.
Wait, isn't Bumo the striker? I thought there was a.
Yes.
Yeah, Wissa's not. Wissa and him are playing like as two up front, essentially.
Oh, okay. I thought Wissa was a striker. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
they're both. They basically they both started as wingers, but they're now playing as strikers.
But you know, the point I think
I said we just had that stretch of 7 games, and by that point, we are at the 6th of December. We are effectively halfway through the season. Actually, we will be basically halfway through the season because we'll have 4 more teams to face, and we'll have faced every team once at that point.
Ahmed, what were you gonna say, bro?
I was gonna say, man, I'm gonna keep it real with you, man. Chilwell right wing. Stay tuned for that again next Sunday. I'm gonna let everyone keep.
There's no way.
No, it's gonna happen. People, don't want to accept it, but I'm gonna be, the reality killer. It's gonna happen, bro. I'm telling you that Chilwell was playing that place next week against Bournemouth, and if that happens, honestly, you gotta start asking questions.
You said right wing, right? You said right wing. You said right wing.
On the wing. called.
Oh, okay. No, that's why. Okay. You scared me when you said right wing. I was like, there's no way.
If I see the same lineup against Bournemouth, I'm Poch out.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean, listen, I get it. It is frustrating. I get it. I'm not gonna be. Yeah.
I keep hearing this nonsense as well about it will change. It will when we get the players back, it will change.
Oh.
When I don't know, when he's deeper in the season and he trusts the players more, things will change. Cool. Like we said that Tuchel would change his system and never did, and when he did, like shit. And we always said when he gets his players, he'll go to a back four. He got his players, the players he wanted, never changed to a back four. And like I said, when he did, it looked like shit. We kept saying when it's going to work with Potter, or the few of us did, it's going to come good. It takes a little while. He has a slow build up. It never came good. We're talking about a guy, by the way, in Poch, who hasn't learned in 4 years of football how to break down a low block. At 3 separate clubs now, he has not figured out how to break down a low block. At varying levels, I'd say, of success in terms of size of club comparative to the league.
Sounds very confident.
Not wrong. Yeah.
No, we're just gonna kill. I think honestly, man, it's just what I would like to call a reality check, because I honestly,
I get that. Yeah, you're right.
I think the problem for me is and I think we'll discuss this more when we get to Mudryk. Is that
we're close.
We'll discuss it then. You know what? We'll discuss it then. I'm gonna do some self control.
Okay, have some self control. So let's that was a good topic. Let's dive into this one a little bit. Terry to Saudi. Chris, you did ask this earlier, so we're going to break out the news for you, man. Right. So apparently, according to Andy Dillon, John Terry is on the verge of joining Saudi side Al-Shabaab FC to make his managerial breakthrough.
Whoa.
I think you butchered it.
Al-Shabaab.
No. Al-Shabaab is also... It's also a Somali terrorist organization, so chill out, big man. So
is it?
Careful.
Oh,
yeah. That's why I was like, whoa! I was like, whoa, you guys. I thought to put yeah, man, chill out, big man.
John Terry is on the verge of joining Al-Shabaab FC as their new manager, according to Sky Sports, and. Then we have here as well Sky Sports. John Terry has verbally agreed to become head coach at Saudi side Al-Shabaab FC. At least the least surprising news of 2023. But then John Terry came out and said this: "There's been talks, but the press are miles off. I'm not going to be a manager over there. It's for a different role, and I'll be based in the UK. It's very early doors." So yeah, he's not going to be a manager. Do you guys think he's ever going to be a manager? I don't think he wants to be a manager at all.
No, I don't think he wants to.
I don't think he wants to be a manager, mate. I think for me, he's probably I think they're probably giving him like a DOF role, stuff like that, where they probably ask about players and then he says you should get him or you shouldn't get him. That's probably what I think is going to happen.
It's like a scout.
I think he's also being called over because Emanalo, I believe. Yeah. Is the sporting director of the league itself? Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so he's the sporting director of the league. How does that work?
He deals with all of their football. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, he just kind of deals with all of. The
level of play that they're getting, the guys that they're getting, he's probably dealing with that, making sure that the skill level of or the players they're trying to get is of a skill level that's going to improve the league. You know what I'm saying? Because if you look at the MLS, for example, the MLS is a good example of this, right? When the MLS were getting in Beckham, Lampard, or Gerrard, right? These guys were of extremely old age. They weren't probably going to give you as much as maybe you hoped for, and they were not going to raise the level maybe. So that's probably what they're looking for, right?
So he's basically getting, or not getting the player. Well, I'm sure the teams themselves have to talk to the players and convince them to join the side and negotiate with them. But he's basically opening up the doors so that these top 4 teams, you have the Al Hilal, the Al Nasser, Al Ahly, and all that. I'm forgetting one. He's basically the gateway to get these players to discuss with these teams. Am I understanding that right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I didn't know that. I didn't know that was a thing. I thought these clubs were just being funded by the Saudi PIF.
No. The Saudi PIF is funding them.
Yeah.
Right? But
Yeah.
But they
And I
also
thought
have
these
their own
clubs were
recruiting.
initiating these things and approaching these players. I didn't know Emanala was like kind of like the middleman.
Oh no. He essentially, so they will have like guys in mind. He will look at that grid and make sure that they're, are they going to improve the league or not? That's why, like, they've been getting a lot of like these old Portuguese guys that like Otavio, a lot of these guys from that league who are like somewhat like 25, 26, 27, entering their peaks sort of, and are quite good players.
Okay, I get it. See, guys, this is why it's called Casually FC, because fuck if I knew this shit. Like I have no idea about this. I didn't think there was a.
I mean, these what is it? What is it that they say? Oh, these armchair fans. These American watchers, man, don't know anything about football. Bloody hell, mate. I'm just kidding.
It's just. It's just like I don't like I never knew that there was a role for that. I always thought these clubs all individually had their sporting directors and they would go out and like seek out the talent.
You know why? Do you know why?
I didn't know a league itself had that.
Do you know why it couldn't be? Because like they put in 20 bill inside the league, innit? 20 bill. So they're definitely gonna have some level of hands-on approach. If you know what I'm trying to say. Like they can't allow that to not be the case. I think for me.
Okay, fair enough. So another thing I wanted to touch on, which I'm sure is going to trigger a few of you guys. JT had some comments to make, and some of you may know what the comments already are. But I'm going to go ahead and show you what he said recently, and let's see if we agree, we disagree, I don't know. This is some interesting comments. Okay. Okay, so John Terry on the John Terry Talk Live via Simon Phillips. Mace is proper Chelsea through and through. There is always two sides to a story, and I know the other side to it. I'm not going to air that tonight, but there's another side to the story. Let's not be too harsh on Mason when he comes back.
He gave us a cliffhanger. So it's not going to say it now.
Can I just be honest? I couldn't give a shit, mate. Let's just move on, man. I'm tired of this nonsense.
If we pop it out, so I will say.
Really, honestly, like I've come to that to say I don't give a shit. Let's just move on.
There's no such thing.
I agree.
I
agree, but I just got to bring it up for the sake of bringing it up, right?
No, but like
it just happened to be
if Mason loved Chelsea
on the TL.
No, but
he doesn't give a shit.
Go ahead.
No, but if he loved Mason,
I agree.
No, if he loved Mason, right? If Mason Mount loved Chelsea, right, he would have signed a 1-year deal and see on from there, or he would have signed a 5-year contract or whatever it was, and like 200k a week, but he wasn't happy with either or something like that. Like he would have accepted if he loved Chelsea. He'd want to stay at Chelsea. His dad's a Man United fan, and we've seen his dad say we're finally home and everything, shit like that. So he chose Man United over Chelsea, and that's fair enough. I don't really care, but. He's not loyal to Chelsea like people think now.
Good riddance.
You know what? Okay, now that I think about this, because I guess people were saying we're reading too into this. Mason when he comes back, I think he's talking about Mason when he comes back from injury. Not comes back to Chelsea. I don't think he's gonna come back to Chelsea.
No, I think it's gonna be I think he means when he comes back, as in when he plays against Chelsea. When he comes back to play against Chelsea.
What's he gonna do?
Okay.
No goals.
He'll get booed. He'll get booed, and rightfully so. He'll get booed. No, actually, no, they probably won't.
Yeah, it's a match going fan, Scott. Yeah, I don't think they will.
There'll be some.
It's match going fans. These cokeheads are not the fuck they do.
Johnny be throwing hands, man. If he hears anyone boo Mason, man, he'd be throwing hands from the fucking ground.
That's what I'm
Let's
saying.
go backstage then, yeah. We'll go.
That's what I'm saying. You got, bro. You got heroin addicts like that, like.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
He'd be screaming 300k a week.
300k a week.
Like, honestly, for me, I couldn't just care less. I'm saying, let's just move on.
Okay.
Man, people just want to bring. For me personally, not you. I'm talking about Don Terry and this stuff, right? I just think for me, man, listen, shout out Don Terry, CLR, as I always say. If you understand what that means, then you're a real one still. That's why I always say CLR. If you know, you know. But I think for me, yeah, when it comes down to it, like we don't need this information. Like I don't really care. Like I saw like Simon Johnson, like
I
the
find
Chelsea
it weird
insider.
that John Terry's even talking about it, to be honest.
Like Simon Johnson, for example, for some reason now has Inter Mason Mount. Like he was saying, he's gonna be back for the Bayern game. I'm like, what? Why? I thought you were a Chelsea insider, not a Manchester United insider. What's going on? Like, let's move on, man. We need to move on.
Also,
The
I
other
don't
thing-
understand why we. Just sorry before you go, Marshall. I don't understand. This isn't aimed at you, obviously, because this is more aimed at like Ahmed, to like a journalist and people in the media. Why do we still need to talk about him? He's not a Chelsea player. He's no better or more special than anyone else we've had in the academy. He's no more special than Christensen was. We don't talk about Christensen. Like he's no more special than who else do we have in the academy that left? He's no more special than Dominic Solanke. No one talks about him. Like why is there this need to talk about him? Like he's not the best player that's come from our academy by any stretch of the imagination. He's not even close. Why are we talking about him? He left to go to a rival club to go for purely for money. It wasn't because he was going to play more, because Pochettino wanted him and was going to play him. It wasn't because I can't even think of other reasons. He was homesick or anything, because he would have gone to play for Portsmouth. It was money. That's why he left. Fuck him. Who cares?
I was going to say, he was playing West Shore.
Fucking minerals,
I don't care. Fuck him.
Yeah,
What were you going to say, Chris, before I bring up the other comments?
Well, if Mason Mount stayed, Poch probably would have played him left wing or something, instead of Chilwell.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, that might actually be true. Okay.
You know what, man? Let's just move on. I couldn't give an absolute Scooby-Doo, mate.
The next thing that he mentioned, by the way, was this. I promise you the current squad need time. It's a young squad. They need to be like sponges and tapping into Thiago and the older players. If they have a similar attitude to Ash and myself, they will be fine. What do you guys think about this comment that John Terry?
Do you know how, can I just say, it's so weird. It's almost like two ironies. But, we'll move. You know what? I'm not going to talk.
I do actually... Despite how much I disagree with his previous comments, I do actually agree with this. Like, so much of the current squad for certain people, like Mudryk, Madueke, they should be talking to Sterling every single day. Like, this is a guy who has played at the top level for many years. He's played under, for me, the best manager I've seen in my lifetime. Like, this is a guy. They should be talking to him and finding. They should like it. I'll give you an example, right? Like, I love football. I'm kind of interested in getting into coaching. It would be like me having the chance to speak to someone like a Pep or someone like a Jose. I'd be speaking to them all the time, trying to find out things. I'd be speaking to them about football and about tactics 24/7. Probably not, like, it's a bit of an exaggeration, but all the time. Like, as much as I could to try and find out more. And that's what these guys should be doing. Cole, all the same, should be speaking to Thiago all the time. I imagine he probably is doing, but it's like Sanchez and Petrovic. Like, if they have the opportunity, speak to Czech. Obviously, he's going to be in and around the club, but he still loves the club. Same like these other guys. What's his name? Cucurella or Chilwell. Like, these guys should be speaking to Cole if they get the chance. Like, these guys should be going and finding people they can speak to that are more experienced, because they can soak up so much information, learn things about how to do things differently, how certain things work in the game. Like, they should be doing that all the time.
I think Colwell can definitely learn from a lot from Thiago Silva. Any other centre back we have actually, but definitely from Thiago Silva. He's been through like 20 plus years in football now, so get everything you can from Thiago Silva.
That's what they all say.
Confiscate their phones. Fair enough. But I will say, and Sterling did play under Tuchel. He played one game. No, he played 3 games.
That doesn't matter.
No, he's taking the piss. I said that it's Sterling playing under the best manager I've seen in my lifetime. He's taking the piss.
Oh my god. Okay, fair enough. But I think one of the players that was brought up was Mudryk. So let's actually get into this topic as he's been like the center of attention. Mostly because they just had the England and Ukraine game. And a lot of people are talking about this player and what the fuck to do with him, and if he's even worth the price he came at, and if what are we going to do with him at Chelsea? Is he good? Is he bad? Who knows? But to start things off, John Terry rates Mykhailo Mudryk and fully believes he will come good. Again, from the same John Terry Talk Live that Simon Phillips did. Moving on, we have here last season, senior player highlighted to Mikhailo Mudryk how he was tending to rush or snatch at things whenever he approached the opposition penalty area, that he was showing all the signs of wanting things to happen too much. So maybe too eager to do everything and too eager to impress and so on and so forth, which I get. I mean, when you're not getting as much play time, you're not starting every match, and especially when the team is as bad as it was last season, maybe you do want to prove do everything you can to prove you want to be on the pitch and you deserve a starting role. But we move. So Chelsea have told Mudryk to tone down the gym work amid concerns he's overdoing it. Moving on to the next tweet right here. Mikhailo Mudryk was and continues to be worried about friends and family left behind in Ukraine who are having to cope with the country being at war with Russia. How would you perform in your daily life if in this situation a salary of £97,000 a week, while very welcoming, cannot help with that? Moving on. A source around Chelsea and close to Mikhailo Mudryk. He wants to be better. People need to leave him alone. He is a nice lad. He will be in the gym at the training ground before and after normal drills. He loves it. He will do what Chelsea asked him to do training wise, but will always find time for extra gym work. Players notice he is committed. Moving on. Here's an interesting question. And this is a question that I want to go into, obviously. And the Chelsea Dodgers did ask this. But if Mauricio Pochettino starts Mikhailo Mudryk for 10 games in a row to build his confidence back, are we as fans going to give him breathing space and allow him to make mistakes? Now, before I go into that question, I do want to address what was mentioned before about the overtraining of the gym and stuff. I get it. I get where they're coming from. I think it's good that he's training and he's physically making himself fit, physically making himself stronger so he can be a proper winger. You saw how he came in last season. He was a little bit skinnier and stuff, easily bullied. We saw what happened with Kai Havertz when he didn't put in gym work time and all that stuff. He doesn't bulk up. It's good that he's doing that. But I think, and this is what makes me curious, is he neglecting training on the pitch? Because it's one thing to train and overtrain in the gym, fine. But to train on the pitch, I think that's what he needs now. He needs to train on the pitch to know what to do when he's in games, to know what to do in scenarios and all that stuff. But that's my 2 cents on the overtraining part. And Ahmed, I'll let you go on this. Are we willing to give Mudryk 10 games to build his confidence back? And are we going to be forgiving if he does make mistakes in those 10 games?
All right. I'm going to be extremely honest right now, and
there is, by the way, beautiful game.
I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep 100 buckaroonies with him. Chelsea Football Club is, in my opinion, not the right place to be given this guy time. And I'm going to be very upfront with him, right? Look at. I'll give you an example right now. For example, right. Jackson is an easy example of this, right? This guy, there's a lot of stuff that's going against him in play right now, and people are already looking at other strikers to give chances to, for example, right? In the fan base, and this is a guy that's playing week in, week out, providing a good amount of help into the team, and he has nothing to give. He's not being given enough help, right? But you look at someone like Mudryk. For me, when I look at Mudryk, I've said this before. When we brought Mudryk, project player for me. Someone that needs time, that needs to hone his skills, that needs to do a lot, in my opinion, not less gym work, as people have been saying, and more shooting drills, more dribbling drills. For me, I would much rather after training, he goes out, much like how I used to, there's this famous video of Iron Robin after training. He would go out, him and the managers would have a couple of football balls with him, where he would just literally do cutting and shoot. He's technical on his left foot. That's all he was doing after training and put into the back of the net. That's the stuff that I would want for Mudryk, in my opinion. Yeah, right. That's what he needs personally. But for me, at Chelsea Football Club, you're not going to be given that time. Yes, maybe the ownership will want to give it to you, but the fan base will not give you that time. And that's just the reality that we have to face when it comes to Mudryk. That's why, for me, and I know you and I disagree on this, I think, when I said he should have been sent to Strasbourg, in my opinion, right? He should have been sent there. So you should have had. There would be no, all of this bright lights and stuff would actually be less on him because people would forget about the fact that he's at Strasbourg. He would be able to play week in, week out, not have that level of stress that he's probably going to have at Chelsea Football Club. Able to hone his skills and be given the time that he needs to be able to play week in, week out because the club owns Strasbourg and can literally tell the manager there, I want you to play this guy week in, week out, quite literally. So, that for me was the ideal environment for the first year. He comes back the year after, probably, hopefully, much more improved and ready to play for the football club. For me, that is a very sound plan. But, the way that situation is, the way Poch is moving, 1 minute he's saying, we have to win. You cannot win right now with Mudryk. I'll be honest, guys. You can't. You're already seeing the problems, yeah? Go ahead, bro.
You can win football games, I think, with Mudryk. I think the whole Mudryk situation I find very weird, and I don't know where to go with it all, because he obviously we can't do anything now in terms of him. I agree with Ahmed. He needs a loan. He's arguably, in terms of our forwards, in terms of as a what their base level is, he's the worst winger we have. I'm sorry. He with every other winger, every other attacker we've got, I have a base level at which I go, okay, and this is the thing, is with Jackson, let's talk about him. Even with Jackson, I can give him time because there's a base level that I know that he has, that I have seen, whether it be at Chelsea, whether it be elsewhere. There is a base level that I've seen. I go, okay, this is your base, so I know what I can expect from you, even with some mistakes, like we saw against Forest, where it wasn't his best game, but there were still things he was doing that was helping him doing well. But it wasn't a good, particularly a great game from him. I don't have that with Mudryk. I've got no base level. I've got nothing to go off. Absolutely nothing. And it's worrying for me, and it kind of sucks that this is our most expensive attacker currently in the squad. He's our fourth. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I think he's our fourth. He's our fourth most expensive signing currently in the squad.
Yep, he is.
Yeah, because Nkuku's about the same price, 16 million, right? But then again, he might be slightly more. Actually,
was cheaper, was it not? I think
Nkuku was a lot cheaper, wasn't he? Nkuku cost you 50 million plus add-ons, literally.
Okay, yeah. Nkuku was a steal, actually, I think. But
yeah, so he's our fourth most expensive attacker signing in the squad, and he needs a loan. He's raw. This is someone we should We are buying players from the Brazilian league for about 20 to 30 mil that have more developed, are further along in their development, have a better baseline than this kid does, and we spent triple the money that we are spending on him.
It's not 88 million, David, because we have to win a Champions League and Premier League. We have to win those trophies first, and then it goes up to there. But we're not winning those trophies yet.
Not 88 yet.
Not yet. Unless we got Mudryk by
Barca for life. He's 22. He'll be 23 in January.
So here's the thing. This is where I stand with Mudryk. And I'm opening up more and more to the idea that Ahmed presented, which is that it looks more and more that he could use a loan to get game time under his feet. Because here's the thing that baffles me. I thought in preseason when I saw Mudryk and he was getting more minutes than what he's getting now in the season so far. I think he's gotten more minutes in preseason than he's gotten his entire Premier League season so far. What I saw in preseason made me think that he was going to basically start the season. He was going to be our starting left winger with Raheem Sterling at the right. And so far, we've been seeing Chilwell there. And what blows my mind is that what must Poch be thinking if you this is the part that baffles me, because if you were intending to start with Chilwell at the left wing the whole time, then why didn't you just propose to Mudryk to go out on a loan?
Insane.
If even if it's Maatsen. So it's is it really Mudryk's fault at that point, or is it Poch? And
can I add to your point, Marshall? Think about the last game. Let me just land this real quick. Okay.
But the thing with Mudryk is though, and I still stand by this. I think there, and we saw in preseason No one was complaining about Mudryk in preseason. People were actually a lot of people were actually kind of excited to see Mudryk this season based on what we saw in preseason and what he was doing, the link up with Jackson against Brighton and what we was doing. I think he played Fulham as well and Dortmund, but like he looked good. He looked electric. He looked like he was, confident and all that stuff. And now he doesn't get a start. So I want to see him get a start, maybe 1 or 2 starts to see if maybe he can find his feet again, and maybe in 60 minutes versus 10 minutes or 15 minutes here, he can actually do something. It's hard for a player to come off the bench and make an impact in 15 to 10 minutes. And even so, like we've seen time and time again, players that come off the bench make an impact and still don't get a start the next game. So it's hard for me to sit here and be like, Mudryk needs to make an impact for him to get a start, because it's not even guaranteed that Chelsea are going to start next game, even if you make an impact off the bench. Give him 1 or 2 games, see what he can do in 60 minutes, and then maybe we'll realize if we made a mistake or not. But Ahmed, you were going to say something as well. Go ahead.
I just want to add to your point, bro. Look at the last game against Nottingham Forest. Before Mudryk came on, guess who came on before Mudryk? Cole Palmer came on, the new guy. Yeah, guess who? Madueke came on before him. I think did Matson come on before or after him?
I think same time.
After.
Anyway.
I think
Maybe even
they
the
came
same
at the
time,
same
right?
time.
So you've almost got, let's say, 1, 2, 3 people that he's trusting above him. Do you get my point? So it's like, if that is the case, why was he not sitting on loan? Like, for me, honestly, if you wanted to sell Chalobah and this loan move was not going to be working, okay, you did the last minute loan move for I've almost said the nickname that people have been giving for Diego Moreira, right?
Yeah,
why do you just not give that loan move to Mudryk?
Yeah. The other thing too that bothers me, and I will say this, and I'm sure you guys agree with me on this one. I think the criticism of Mudryk is somewhat merited. I mean, like, there's been moments where it's like, bro, you got to do better, right? Obviously, we've seen that. But I think there's a large portion of the fan base that's taking it way too far. I think there's a large portion of the fan base that want to look at literally like watching the games with their eyes closed, only want to see the negative and will just criticize the negative parts of his game. Like, I think all of us here agree that there is a talented player there that we just haven't seen yet, and that as of right now, it doesn't look like we're getting our money's worth. Okay, well, we can discuss that, but the thing is, like, I think there's been a large portion of the fan base that has been overly critical on this player who's had 800 minutes so far since he's joined Chelsea, and 20 games he's featured on. I think, is it 20 games? I don't actually know. I think he's only started like 3 of them. I think he's only had 3 starts since he came to Chelsea.
I'm not too sure, but I was gonna say, even at his club as well, Shakhtar, right? Is it the club? I think it was, right?
Yeah,
Shakhtar. He came from Shakhtar.
Yeah, I want to make sure. Like, I'm pretty sure that club, like, just before we won the season before, he played like less than 1,000 minutes as well. The guy has got very little experience for
before he joined us. Before he joined us, he had not completed 50 competitive games.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know what it is. Like, we're not scouts and everything, but there must be, like, a huge potential with this guy, because, like, he does look good at moments. I've seen, like, even in that preseason, that volley was a good volley. I want to see him do that in the Premier League or something, but...
I mean, he's got strong aspects of his game. He's got, obviously,
and he is a hard worker. I do like
he's hardworking. He's got great pace, and he's got a good shot. We just haven't... we haven't seen it.
I was going to say as well, I would actually give him like the round, like not 10 exactly if he's playing poorly every game, but I would give him the run of games. I really would. I'd want to see it over Chilwell, especially as well. Like, I can see Cole Palmer as a 10 and Mudryk on a left or something, or Madueke, like, switch between the two. But I think Mudryk does need a little bit of time with Chelsea, but all alone. If we're not giving him minutes, then like Ahmed said and Scott, like, give him the loan, because we're not using them. What's the point, like, keeping him on the bench just to go do no good to Mudryk as a player?
I pulled up his stats real quick just because I want to see how many minutes he's played and all that jazz. Pulling it up right now. Okay, so this season he's had 3 appearances and only 66 minutes.
Jesus.
So
he's never. sorry, he's never that season underneath. By the way, that 22-23 season, like for Shakhtar, that's the most amount of minutes he's completed in a season. That 914.
Yeah.
Obviously, that was only like actually no, that was a season because their season is a winter season. It's from like their first window of the season, like it's January. It's like the MLS.
It's not bad. 7 goals, 6 assists, and 12
yeah,
appearances.
like that 900 minutes is the most he's played in a season.
Yeah, he's not experienced. Like he's literally 23, but he's not experienced. And
In a league season,
he does need it.
If you add the 15, sorry, it's about with the Champions League as well. It's like 1,400 minutes.
But see, the thing, David, is with this, like, I don't want to like make excuses for Mudryk, but genuinely, this kid and a lot of Ukrainian players and people from that league itself are a very special case. Like, yes, he's 1 year younger than Anthony, and Anthony gets slated, but Anthony actually played a lot of minutes. He's, he played in Ajax. He was starting in Ajax. He was playing in and out constantly. He got minutes. Like, Mudryk has a very unique story when it comes to teams and why he hasn't been able to play as much, and a lot of it has to do with the war obviously is a factor, and it was another thing too. One of his clubs were one of the clubs he joined went bankrupt or they got bombed. One or the other. I don't remember, but
I know
it just,
stadium or something like I think got bombed, but I'm not
yeah,
sure.
like he's just been really unlucky to at 22 only have this much experience. So
I'm pretty sure he has a family member in Ukraine. That's like the one thing I think was probably worrying him, but that's the only thing I can think of.
Okay, I don't think this is pathetic. I mean, I get where he's coming from with this, but at the same time, like, how long do you say, oh, but his family's in Ukraine until we like, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, how long do you?
Well, you know what?
That
You know what I would
as,
say
like,
to that, guys.
a mental bottleneck. You know
what I want to say to. No, I'll say to that. Yeah, I think that's a fair point, and I do understand that, right? But if that's the case, then the club should be providing him with a psychologist, someone or like someone that he can speak to, making sure that his mental health and like there's a good bonus in terms of that being taken care of him as well. If you're being honest, right? All of those things should have been considered when we were trying to buy someone like a Mudryk. If I'm being honest, right? So if that's the case and the club have considered, then they should be able to provide the adequate resources to help him out. If that's the case, whether it be with his mental health, with the situation that's affecting him as well. That's what I'm going to say. Of course, they can't stop the Ukraine-Russia war, but they can at least, give him the right stuff that he needs, right? But if he's not ready to play football and that's the stuff and that stuff is affecting him, then we should be putting him out of the firing line and letting him focus on his mental health.
Yeah, fair
but
enough.
I don't think that seems to be the case. I don't think that seems to be the case, really, for me.
I'm just going to point something out as well. Like, I don't know the logistics of how this would work, and maybe there are some logistics that this doesn't work. But you would think, right, considering he is a club like Chelsea, that there is some way of his family being moved to the UK, at least temporarily, while things are going on.
Yeah. There's like the refugee scheme in the UK, which they have for Ukrainian refugees, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, there is Ukraine refugees in the UK. That's why I don't get how it's.
No, they have a refugee scheme in the UK. I know about it. That's what I'm saying to you. So like, if that is an issue, I'm pretty sure they would have been able to help him resolve that too. So
if I'm reading this correctly, it seems that since he's joined Chelsea, he's only started 5 games in the Premier League.
That would not surprise me.
No, yeah, like it's something about that because he barely gets to play and like start, and I don't know if we're just trying to protect him as well. Like clearly he's not. Well, I don't think he is ready, but like he should have more. I think he should have more minutes than what he's got so far. I think it's whole time at Chelsea. I think it's like.
I didn't realize this was here actually. So 7 games in the starting 11. Okay. I didn't know this was a thing at the bottom. I was counting it and assuming. Okay, so he's had 7 starts.
That's when he got assist, actually.
Yeah. So I don't know. I am curious to see what it would be like because now at this point now we can't loan him out, right? We have to wait until January if we're going to decide to do that. The best thing we can do right now is I'd rather see him on left wing than Chilwell, and I would like to experiment with that and see what happens. I'm sure, like, I know the issue may be that him and Chilwell just don't seem to like have good chemistry or some shit. I'm sure they can sort that out.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't see them never being able to sort that out. Like even Alonso got along with the players after a while with the wingers. Like, you know, like I'm sure it could happen with Mudryk. Were you gonna say Ahmed for you?
I just think for me personally, we just need to be when it comes down to Mudryk, we just need to assess the situation. If there is like a mental situation that's going on, it needs to be taken out of the limelight. If that is not really the main problem, then I've said to you before, in January the loan needs to happen. We need to send them out on loan either when that takes place. And I think it's just as simple as that for me.
I wouldn't mind the Bundesliga loan. Yeah. I'm not sure about you
guys,
but
for me, I want something that's going to help him to be as seamless as possible into the league. And I feel like the French league is probably the perfect
French league
one for me.
I wouldn't mind.
Yeah. So for me, when this comes down to Mudryk, you know, I think we've all spoken about as much as possible when it comes down to him. But I think it was Chris that was talking. I think it was you who was talking about Alonso and like how his relationship with the wingers were. But
Marshall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Marshall, right? Sorry, it was Marshall. Sorry, yeah. But like, you know, I've spoken about this previously about the fact that, you know, when it comes to Chilwell, we need to get him to let's get into the box, because a lot of these wingers that we have are wide wingers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know me and like Kai were like have an argument about, oh no, these guys are inside forwards. They're not actual inside forwards for me.
He was right though. I did look at that.
He's not. They're not inside forwards. I will
it is an inside forward. What cuts in? That's what an inside forward is.
No, Mudryk is not an inside forward.
No, but if a winger tends to cut in, that what means an inside forward?
No, that's not an inside forward.
That just means he likes to cut in.
That's not an inside forward. That's not an inside forward.
That's what
exactly my point. No, you know what, man?
And then,
it's better not to argue, Scott. I had to fight about the father.
No, this just makes it easier for me. Like, this is the easiest way I can explain it. Inside forwards goes in the middle, goes out wide. Winger, like Mudryk, starts wide, cuts into the inside. That's the differences.
Exactly.
Right? I'm not wrong. That's pretty much the difference. That's inside forward likes to start in the middle, go wide, pretty much, or stick in the middle, whatever. Yeah. That's the wingers like to be wide, and then they'll cut inside from time to time. Doesn't mean it's an inside forward.
Exactly. But these guys, they need the width. That's why, you know, in preseason when he was inverting the wingers, I was like, yes, I like the idea, because he's given the wingers now a lot of width, to work with, essentially, right? So Madueke can thrive there, you know, Mudryk can thrive there, you know, Maatsen was thriving there when he was playing in preseason. But like, I don't know what happened, but like, obviously now he's playing Chilwell there. Like, there's nothing there to work with. That's why when Mudryk came on, I think it was time, for example, it wasn't working because like Mudryk was playing the 10 for some reason, and then Chilwell, because he's only good at out wide, that's the only place he was able to work. So.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna see how this works out, obviously, and hopefully it does work out, because there is a hefty price point on this. But I think it's fair to say, like, I think we should be a little patient with him, and not be overly critical as well. Because
the other thing I wanted to say, just on one of the points you brought up earlier, Marshall, is just that the problem that you have with Mudryk right now, in terms of him starting, for me at least, is it kind of goes back to what I said in terms of a baseline with players. Let's say, for example, right, you have choice of the lineup in terms of, well, you have choice of who plays left wing. We're starting with the same formation that we did against, like, this season in terms of the 4-3-3. You have the choice of who plays left wing. So just to lay out the team, let's just say, for example, the back four is as it is goalkeeper. Your midfield three is normal. It's Enzo, Gallagher, Caicedo. Sterling on the right, Jackson up top. Who do you play left wing?
Well, as of right now, you mean?
Yes.
Right now, I would probably want to play. I'd probably want to play Maatsen at left wing, just because he looked so good in the preseason.
My answer would have been Palmer, but point still stands.
Okay. Yeah.
I'd have Palmer.
And this is the problem, is like Palmer, say what you want about him, Palmer has shown more in the league than Mudryk has. Like, there's a baseline to him. He's played at
in
a high
the 45
level.
minutes that he played, the 30 minutes he played,
Not even that much.
He did really
He's
well.
played for City. He has played minutes and has contributed effectively to the best team in the league, arguably the best team in the world. Right? He has contributed effectively. I'm not talking like he's made, played 10 minutes, looked okay. He has contributed and helped them win trophies this season.
He was the main reason why they won
For the
Super
biggest
Cup,
team, also not the biggest, the best team currently in the league, arguably in the world. Like, he's played at a higher level than, to a higher level than basically every other one of our attackers, bar Sterling. But based on the fact he's played minutes for City.
Yeah.
So I'm playing him. And then I look at Maatsen.
I get that.
He is used to playing in this country. He's played in the championship. He was one of the best players in the championship last season.
Mm-hmm.
Has been able to has shown he can play in attacking areas. So you trust him in that season. Also, if you want to go based on preseason, if we're doing that for Mudryk, was better than Mudryk in preseason. Then you look at Madueke and there's question marks, but we've seen at both club level for PSV, which I'll be completely honest is a higher level. The Dutch league is a higher level than the Ukrainian league. So he's shown it at a higher level, again, than Mudryk. And you go and look at how he was playing in the Dutch league. For me, again, the baseline is better than Mudryk's. So I said it earlier, in terms of a baseline, his starting point is the worst of any winger. Forget the ceiling. Like, forget all of that. I'm talking his starting point is worse than every other winger we have at the club.
Yeah, I can agree with that. And I see where you're coming from.
As
I don't think it's much
to play and get minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It's as much as I want him to play and get minutes. No one is asking him to play over anyone else. No one on this panel, no one in the chat is asking him to play over Palmer. No one in this chat is asking him to play over Maatsen. No one, I guarantee if people ask, would they rather Madueke plays on the right and Sterling plays on the left, or you have Sterling on the right and Mudryk on the left? Most people are choosing the first option. I guarantee it.
Yeah, and I think you're right. So I think that being said, it's going to be tough for Mudryk to get some starts. I hope he does, because I would like to see him, reach his full potential. I think there's a really good player there if he does reach that full potential. But we're just gonna have to wait and see, really. And we have to start with this team in general, and we have to start with Chilwell not playing at the left wing. And that being said, that brings me to the next topic that I wanted to bring up, which is the issue going on at Chelsea right now, which is let me actually get the presentation ready before I actually start talking.
Issues, man.
We have some stats to read for those of you guys that like some stats. So this came out. Possession-wise, we're first in the league, 76% possession. We have the most shots in the league, the most touches in the league, and we're 11th for goals with 5 goals.
That's nothing new with Chelsea, I'll tell you that.
Nothing new with Chelsea.
Since Tuchel, that's nothing new, really.
And I think I have an interesting little chart here for those of you guys who like stats. I'm looking at Ahmed and Scott for this one. We have some a stat chart here that I want you guys to help me understand. So I'm gonna zoom in on this. Obviously,
what am I looking at?
So we have all right. I'll start off with the finishing.
I understand
right?
that. I know what it's called. Yeah, I understand.
I'm glad one of us does.
So impact.
No, literally,
right?
you know what it is, bro. You know what it is? It's just literally, like how FB Ref has all of that stuff, which is like XG per 90. They just put it in a graph. That's all of us put it into.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So it's goals per 90, assists per 90,
Assists
non-penalty XG, non-penalty goals minus expected goals per 90, and then SH is shots per 90, SOT shots on target per 90, then shots on target percentage. So that would be 1.28 over 3.84 essentially. So if you get my drift.
Yeah.
That's
So
right, okay. I think
we're looking at some pretty interesting numbers here. Shots per 90. We have Nicholas Jackson at 3.84 shots per 90. And we only have 5 goals in the team so far. Then we have the non-penalty XG, right? Is that what this was, Ahmed?
Yeah.
Non-penalty XG is 0.76, which I think that's That's pretty decent. Shots on target per 90, 1.28. We have Mudryk that has 2, but that's probably a high average because he hasn't played too much. In the Luton game, actually, because he scored. There's just a lot of stats here. My point in bringing this up is that, do you guys think that our issue is the personnel we have in attack, including Jackson? Do you think the issue is lack of chances or clear-cut chances? Where is this issue with the lack of goals coming from, guys?
Well, I think again, it's the lack of chances, and then I also believe the creation style, the fact that we're not creating enough is another thing, and also quality of shots as well that we're taking. Like the quality of shots that some of us are getting are not great. Like maybe you can say Jackson has gotten that one big chance, for example, in the last game which he didn't take. But like barring that, like the chance or like shot creation that guy is getting is not being great at all. Like, and this is the problem a lot of the times. You know, when you look at stats, right? Look at, for example, his non-penalty XG is 0.76, if I'm not mistaken, right? That 0.76, yeah, is probably a big factor of that, yeah. It's like at least 0.4, 0.5 of that is going to be that chance that he missed against, Nottingham Forest.
Sure.
That'll be like almost 0.5 or 0.6, something like that. So that'll be like a part of that. But like when people say, oh, but he's taking, so I know that Chris always used to say, oh, he's been getting a lot of shots. 3.94 shots per 90, right? That's let's say I round it up here. 5% will say to be 4 shots per 90, but like, he's only able to get 1 shot on target. So that means usually the shots that he's trying to create or trying to force are usually shots where it's a very difficult angle, or he's not getting a great.
It's not entirely true, like you said, for a Nottingham Forest game, he was in a 6-yard box and he missed a goal, so that's not on target. What?
Yeah, but what did it say to you?
What do you mean? What's that say to me? Like that's a chance where he missed it, and that's
No. But shots. That's shots on target though. Penalty. That's no. I'm saying to you, right? 3.84 is his total shots, right? But I'm saying to you, if he's only getting one shot off penalty on target, that just means he's either taking difficult shots. It may also mean that he's maybe missing chances. Of course, let's not put that. Of course, that will be a big shot. That might be a part of it, but. The majority of the time, when someone, particularly with our attack, it usually means the guy's not getting enough chances to put the ball in the back of the net. If you're being honest.
For a realistic approach, I think this season he should have scored definitely at least 2 or maybe 3. I think that's like I don't think that's like being too harsh on
how many
Jackson. Sorry. How many
were you gonna ask? Because I was gonna ask you. I mean, SCA 90.
There's only one.
SCA 90.
Scoring created assists. I think something like that.
Scoring created assists.
Yeah. I think it might be that. It might be that.
It's shot creating actions per 90.
Oh, shot creation. Yeah.
Shot creating actions. So if there's a shot creating action, that tells me that that's probably a chance to score. So it's a chance, and we're seeing here like Jackson's gotten 4. We have Enzo, who's created 6.5 per 90. So that tells me that there is plenty of chances and we're just not finishing them.
No. So
Enzo will have to create a few chances though.
But like something like a shot creating action.
Cole Palmer, look at Cole Palmer's stat, by the way. Jesus Christ.
Well, when someone has
6.21,
when someone has like a shot created action, it can just mean they've managed to pass the ball into someone who's had a shot essentially, and that will count.
I was going to say the definition on FBref is the 2 offensive actions directly leading to a shot, such as passes, take-ons, and drawing fouls. Note: a single player can receive credit for multiple actions, and the shot taker can also receive credit.
That's what I'm saying to you. So the thing of like a lot of these stats, like I will say this to you, Marshall, and like everyone here, yes, they should be taken, right? I thought they are, but you should all stay with a grain of salt, because like a lot of, like, for example, just like right now what Scott said about great action, that could just be a random pass, and then let's say Dexter Jackson hits it at like a defender, so that's a shot creation action, right? So how much of value is that worth, for example? Because like it's going to be worth some sort of value that's been added onto that shot creation action per 90. That's the thing with me when it comes up to a lot of the time. I think of football stats, right? Unless you try to read them, with of some level of like hindsight and like some level of knowledge behind it, it will sometimes like overblow something when it's not really that. When it's not really that, you know what I'm saying? That's a big thing.
So I guess we're coming to the sense that it's just we haven't made that many clear-cut chances for Jackson, for Sterling, for et cetera, pretty much.
But like, we know that.
I think it's the quality. I think it's the quality of chances more than anything. And I think it's a mix of everything. Because I think it's like personnel as well, but like not like I don't really aim at a lot of Jackson. Yeah, he needs to do better, but like that stuff's gonna come in terms of the thing I keep saying is like I much prefer that he's getting in these positions to score, and he's still having a positive effect on the team this early on, because eventually, if he keeps getting in those spots, eventually he'll score. Like just the law of averages dictates that eventually he will score getting in those positions. I'd prefer that rather than him not getting positions. Like that's why for me, where our team is right now, attackers like Lukaku, Mitrovic, etc., that offer nothing in build-up, that offer nothing but a target man type forward, make no sense. Because in this team that we are in right now, we haven't got enough people to create. We haven't got the ability to create chances to a sufficient level with the type of chances we create, where you can have a guy that doesn't get involved because it takes a lot out of the team. The problem is we're asking Jackson to do too much. It's gone too far the other way. But I have faith in Jackson. I just think, as I said, it's personnel. It mainly comes from that left-hand side, and I think it also comes from the number 10 position. The fact we've got no one there that's playing it. Because I think, like you saw, if you can bring that back up, like you look at Chukwuemeka, bearing in mind he's played 2 games or like 1.5 games, and the fact that he like on some stats is very high up, shows you how much of a positive effect he was having in attacking areas. Excuse me.
Arnie Chukwuemeka right here.
He was like that 10 role, weren't he? I felt like.
Yeah, he was.
I don't think he was a winger enough, and I thought he was.
Yeah, like he literally has the most goal creating actions per 90, like in the team, and obviously he scored, so that helps. But I think. Yeah, I don't think that the team is set up in a way that lends us to create chances. I also think that that's that thing you brought up at the start with the Sky Sports is so misleading, because it just something like this is a lot better, or is better because it says shots there. Cool, they're including then that shot that Mudryk had from like 40 yards out. That's never going in. That's never going in. No one's ever scoring. He's not scoring from that. But that's probably same way that we can talk about touches. If we're having half of those touches in a half, it means nothing. Like it's all about like.
In the first game, Scott, we did have a lot of shots outside the box, and as I remember, I know it's been a few nights, but I'm pretty sure we've had a lot of shots outside the box. I've definitely seen this season we've had a lot of shots outside the box this season.
What's dumb about that is we've got no one.
Sorry.
Bar Enzo, I'd say apart from Enzo, maybe Gallagher and maybe Mudryk, I don't think we've got anyone that can hit those type of shots consistently to the point where you'd expect them to score. So that's 3 players on our team, one of which doesn't start.
I think Sterling can score outside the box, depending. If Sterling's on the left side, Scott, on the left side, I think you can score outside the box. Not consistent, but then again, I don't think Gallagher and all that can do consistent, but maybe they can do a bit better than him. But yeah, we don't really have many like long range shooters, and I think we don't have any.
We don't, but that's the thing, and that's where I say the setup of the team is wrong, because the setup at the moment, especially how it's been under Forest and what we've seen, bar the Liverpool game and the West Ham first half, a lot of what we're trying to do in terms of the chance we're trying to create and the opportunity we're getting into is just quite poor, because we're not giving, like, for example, we're not allowed, apart from the odd 1 or 2, we're not getting Jackson in a position where he's in the 6-yard box on the penalty spot and can have like an easy shot to hit. We're not getting Sterling in a position where he was at City, where he's on the back post and he can have a nice little tap in. Instead, it's Chilwell in those positions who is terrible. Like he's terrible in general, but he's terrible specifically in that situation because he's not the best. He's not particularly. and like we've got Jackson, who's not the best at heading. You're putting him in positions where like he's having to head the ball, and he's not the best header of the ball. Like that's not his best attribute. Yeah, it's like it was the same. It's kind of like the same thing with like Tammy, where he wasn't the best player, but if you're crossing into him, you're not trying to get the best out of him because he's better with the ball at his feet. And that's the thing. It's just like I just think a lot of what we're doing wrong at the moment comes down to Poch, and he's not putting the team in the best way to set up. Like we're playing the exact same now as we were under Tuchel, but all of the players that, apart from Silva, that we thought were the reason why we were playing this way are gone. Jorginho's not here. Kovacic not here. Who else did we have? I'm trying to think. You know, Mount not here. Havertz not here. They're not slowing the game down. None of these guys are here, but we're playing the same way. It's monotonous. It's slow. We still can't break down a low block. Like I don't think it's a player issue, because like we've seen with these players across games, whether that be in preseason, the odd moment here or there. These players know how to speed the game up. They know how to create space. They know how to do have moments where they can do nice link up and get into the box. We've seen that from some of these players, from a lot of these players, but we're not seeing it now.
Yeah, and I have to agree with Scott on that one. I think a lot of the issues that we've had this season so far, it's not even just the left wing situation. I think it is also the setup in terms of what the strategy is, what the tactic is. Like, I think, Scott, you nailed it on the head when you said we're crossing balls into a box to a striker who's not actually good at heading. Like, and we saw in preseason, Jackson looked his most dangerous when you were doing 1-2 touch passing in through the middle. In counterattacks, you know, like, and right now he's finding himself, and we've seen it in the games, he's finding himself in these positions where he's the number 10 almost, running the ball up with just Sterling and not getting an assistance from the left wing, or not, you know, getting the ball passed to him in behind the striker or in behind a defender like we should. So I think there is a lot that Poch needs to fix up so that we do eventually get the best out of most of these players. I don't think we're going to get the best out of all these players, because whatever tactic you use, very, very unlikely that like it works for everyone, which is why you get some people that don't make the squad anymore, and some people that just stay benched or make appearances, and some people that just start over and over. But I think hopefully come the international break, we start seeing some, you know, chopping and changing in certain areas that could potentially lead to getting a strong starting 11, a strong formation that actually benefits most of the players and the attack for that matter, because we do need to score more goals. The other thing I wanted to touch on, which is a few transfer targets that actually didn't go through during our, you know, little fiasco that we had in the summer transfer window that just closed. And we'll start off with some comments that Eli Wahi brought up. So let's go ahead and pull this up and let's see what you guys had thoughts on this. So Eli Wahi speaks on failed Chelsea move. Chelsea, I didn't want to go there just for the sake I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me start over. Chelsea, I didn't want to go there just for the sake of it. I don't have any regrets. I guess he was asked about the Chelsea move. I believe the plan for this guy was to loan him back to Strasbourg, and he had no interest in doing that. It seemed like a very perpendicular or parallel move for him. It could also, I don't know. Do you guys think that maybe it might also have to do with the fact that maybe he thinks that he will be like these other players, like kind of what we're seeing with Fofana right now, where it's like, okay, we brought you into the team, but we're going to loan you back out, and maybe you come into the team, maybe you have a chance to make it, and maybe you don't. Maybe you're just forever loaned out, and we just sell you on.
Do you know what it is with Ali Wahi? Yeah? It's funny that he's saying that because he's not even playing at Lens right now, so you can hold that, bro.
Okay, fair enough. That is, I mean, he says he has no regrets, but I don't think he would have even played at Chelsea either way. I mean, he would have played at Strasbourg, I'm pretty sure, but I don't know. We do need a striker actually, so maybe he would have played.
He'd be the backup striker right now.
Yeah, fair enough, yeah. Or he'd be playing right now with Jackson.
If we signed him in the summer, but like now I think I don't know, like I'd rather go for Ivan Toney. This guy I don't know who he is, so
fair enough.
He'd probably be dirt cheap compared to Ivan Toney, of course, but like I want to.
I think he was going.
top.
If I
scorer,
remember
like,
correctly,
like
I think he was going for around 50 mil.
50 or 15.
No,
he
he went for
was
40
that.
mil, by the way.
40. Okay. Okay.
Nah,
fair enough.
I'd rather Ivan Toney for like 60 to 70.
Another transfer that didn't go through was this gentleman right here, who I think he was the one that scored against us in the Forest game. Chelsea did ask about Taiwo Awoniyi 48 hours before the deadline, but Nottingham Forest were in a position to say no. I don't think I have very much interest in this player at all. I'm kind of glad that didn't go through. It's coming from the Athletic though.
What?
So
Nah, I wouldn't mind having Taiwo Awoniyi. I like him.
speak to me. I don't know about this player.
No. This guy is actually good.
Where
Like,
was he
would
before
be-
Forest?
Liverpool.
know?
He used to be a part of the Liverpool Academy.
Oh shit, really? I didn't know that. See, I don't know these things. I'm a casual.
See? Oh.
But tell me, you would have taken him at Chelsea? He's a striker, right?
Yes. Yeah, I would have taken him at Chelsea. He's a very good player. Obviously, he had a few injuries early in the season at Nottingham Forest. Scored 10 goals in 5 games. Has continued on his scoring run currently. Really good hold-up play. Can link up play really well with the wingers. And that would help up particularly our wingers who are very wide too. Because then when they come in, when they try to come in inside and maybe possibly do a little 1-2 to the ball to the net, he can do that very well with them. Like, look at how he plays with Elanga, for example. Like, what did he do with Elanga? Hold up play through Thiago Silva's legs, bang to Elanga, let's go.
Ahmed, does that sound like familiar? Like what would he have there? Like Jackson, who's very good at link up and hold up, and like, don't you want someone different who's like a goal scorer? Like he does sound good though. Like what you said, like he does sound like
this guy is a goal
player,
scorer. That's the thing. This guy's a goal scorer.
Do you know how many goals he's got this season? Like
I'm looking at his stats right now. He only got shit. Never mind. Hold on.
I know
he
it's
only
not
got 10 goals in Premier League last season. 10 and 1 assist.
He got 10 goals in
That's
5
okay for
games.
Nottingham
To put
Forest.
Forest up.
In 5.
And he was, yes, in 5 games. He got those 10 goals in the last 5 games of the season. And then he's continued. I think now he's got 2 goals in the last 4 games as well.
Yeah, and it is not in the Forest, so I will like take account like a bigger club like Chelsea or any other club, like he probably scored more. So
I mean,
yeah,
I don't know, Ahmed, because I'm looking at this right now. He's had 17 starts, and in those 17 starts, the last 5 games of the season, he scored 5. He scored 2 against Southampton, 2 against us, 1 against Arsenal, 1 against Crystal Palace. I don't know if that's convincing to me, man.
if we couldn't get Ivan Toney, I would go for these type of players. But Ivan Toney's my number 1 target. For
I'll put it
January
on the
or something.
screen, ladies and gents.
Ivan Toney's a goal scorer. He is a goal scorer, and that's what I'd want. Like Jackson's very good as well. Like, and he seems very similar to Jackson, this player from Nottingham Forest. But I'd want something different who can actually score a lot of goals. Because I don't think Jackson can score a lot of goals. In all fairness, either he can do a bit of everything. A lot of groin injuries.
For me, as a player that we want and that we need, he is the one for me personally.
Over Ivan Toney?
Well, no, I was saying at the time, if we're gonna give him at the time, he would be a perfect backup or starter if need be. Right? Clearly, I'm not sure what's going on here, but like
he did have a big injury. That's why it probably took him a little bit of time to get used to it, and then he showed
Still
up.
had 17 starts. 17 starts, 10 goals. You know what? 17 starts, 10 goals. That's not too bad. That's kind of similar to the numbers that we got from Jackson, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so maybe it wouldn't have been a bad.
He seems very similar to Jackson, though. But I wouldn't mind him as a backup right now. But like now going forward, I wouldn't go for this first. Like, I would go for Ivan Toney. Because we need to sign that striker first.
But,
I know
but Chris, would you have entertained the idea prior to the window closing?
It's depending how much this guy would have cost. Because I wouldn't want to pay over 40 million.
This is apparently his market cost, so it probably would have been around 40 million.
I wouldn't.
You could have gotten him. You could have gotten him for somewhere around about 40 million. For me, honestly, 45 million. Like honestly, for me, he's a real quality player, top player, man. I don't understand. I know a lot of people, man, to hate mistake, but this guy, he's very good. That's the thing. And to have him as a backup as well.
You know what? Another thing, I would actually swap Broja for him, and maybe a little bit of money. if it had to come to that, but they wouldn't probably want a Broja who's injured, who's come back from injury.
The thing with Broja, man, you know, and I don't know why no one's
I'm not-
speaking actually of
I'm not a big fan
my
of
guy Broja, you know, because like this guy, bro, he's still not ready. Like we are really one Jackson injury, like injury away. He's facing Algeria and Senegal, I think, on Tuesday. Like, yo, we are really one injury away from my guy, getting cooked. So it's not like honestly.
Apparently, he's. I mean, we'll talk. We're gonna get to the injured players, but apparently he's been training and getting his fitness up. So, I mean, he's close. We'll see what happens.
We can keep saying they're close, but mate, if they're not on the pitch or on the bench, then they're not close.
I think come the end of this international break, we might actually start seeing not the first game back, but the second game back, we might actually see Broja on the bench. It seems like he's really close to coming back. The other target too I wanted to bring up, which was right here mentioned, was Cherki. Chelsea have monitored Cherki, but he's not considered a target this past summer. Also because the player did not want to move this past summer, but to move in 2024 is a possibility. So Cherki in 2024, guys.
We'll see how wingers turn out.
I was gonna say that. I'm not. I'm just so over transfers. Like we're literally
transferred out.
No, it's not. It's not like it's just because of like we're 11 days for us in England. We're 11 days now since the transfer window closed. We're 11 days now talking about transfers, and again, it's not necessarily a content thing, but it's just a case of like I don't care about someone we might be signing next summer. Talk to me about the players that we've got now. How are they going to develop? Because like we're talking about players that they're like hopefully if all goes well, come next summer we'll have no reason to mention Cherki unless he's going to cost a good price. Because the guys we have in Palmer, Mudryk, if he gets game time, Madueke should be on the same level or better.
Obama,
like that's what's like, and it's the same thing with Awani, like or with some of these strikers. Like hopefully we're not talking about getting in another striker next summer in January apart from Tony. Because we'll have Tony and Jackson's performing well. There's your two strikers. Maybe Washington's contributing or Broja's contributing. It's all good. Like I just don't care just because why am I talking about transfers again? Like talk to me about the players that are here and how they're going to develop. Like that's kind of how it is. Just like
one of my mates.
Yeah, Marshall.
One of my mates, who's like a non-Chelsea fan, has said, he feels like Chelsea fans have been getting, they get like some sort of like crazy dopamine rush, bro, from like talking about transfers and like winning transfer awards. Like we need to be getting the dopamine from like winning games, guys. Like
true.
Well, we can't really talk about winning games, man.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to do this to Scott, but I do need my dopamine fix. Let's talk about
I want to talk about Premier League, actually.
Let's talk about Antonio Nusa. Let's talk about some transfers, guys.
Who?
Antonio Nusa. Yeah, exactly. Who is Antonio Nusa?
18-year-old. Oh.
Yeah, let's talk about him. So Chelsea made a 23 million.
That was crazy. Another 18-year-old?
Chelsea made a 23 million pound bid. Deadline day offered for winger Antonio Nusa, 18, to signal their intent. That's odd. Okay, that's odd phrasing. They are, however, just one of the estimated 20 teams watching the Norwegian.
I have to head out, by the way. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I forgot. I had prior alignment of
this man forgot.
Yeah, for what?
My bad. I literally got a text with you now. That's why. My bad, bro. Right,
go for it, man. Thank you for coming on, man. Norwegian talent Antonio Nusa confirms Chelsea wanted him on deadline day. And we had a new talk when the money came, but I knew what to do. A lot of money. But I can't focus on that. I want to really think through my next step. That's right for me, he told. That was kind of.
Are we just building like a superhero team or something? We're just buying a superhero team, the 11 superheroes, or like we're buying like so many 18-year-olds, some random ass. They could be good. They could be good. I don't know, but we just signed too many. I don't see like even City do this. City don't sign so many 18-year-olds or whatever. Just Chelsea. So maybe we're ahead of the curve and we can see it from like a mile away, but I don't.
Maybe, but there's a reason for this, though.
City do this.
Like buy a bunch of 18-year-olds?
Yes, they do this. The difference is, their group. I'll say that much. Their group does this a lot, where they buy a lot of young players. They'll just loan them out to like loads of their teams under their group. But the difference is is they're not buying 18-year-olds to go into the first 11 immediately. Like they're buying players. They're buying players that will go out on loan to Troyes, or they'll go to loan to Girona, or to NYCFC, or to.
I don't
That is
believe
actually
any
very true.
18-year-old should play for Chelsea. I don't think any 18-year-old ready.
I mean, unless they're like Kylian Mbappe, you know, like
Well,
that
yes,
level
of
of
course.
talent.
Like that guy was unreal, but like if he's some like showing like talent like real quick, like and how good he is on training, then yeah. But they're not. Like let's face it. Like we ain't got no Mbappe.
Part of, and I agree. Honestly, yeah, Scott nailed it on the head. It's the difference between what City does and what we do is that we get these kids to bring into the team next season or this season versus. In Man City, they get put into one of the B teams or the smaller city group teams, and then they get time to develop, and that's why we don't hear about them very often. And we're hearing about the ones that we're getting because they're potentially going to be starters. But also, the reason this is happening is because of what Fabrizio says here. Chelsea on deadline day sent a bid in to the region of 30 million euros for Antonio Nusa, add-ons included with a sell-on clause. This is true and confirmed on player side. The idea was to proceed with the deal only if Maatsen was going to join Burnley. So I think the idea was if we sold Maatsen and get our, that's profit, pure profit, then we get a replacement in Antonio Nusa. So moving forward, Chelsea are going to send scout to track the progress and watch Antonio Nusa in the future, despite having a 30 million pound and 30 million euro bid and sell-on clause to his club denied by Club Brugge and the player himself. Chelsea plan was to go through with Nusa if Maatsen left. Then we have Antonio Nusa on Chelsea approach. We're talking about very big clubs where they and that's where you dream of being in the future. I try not to think about money at all. It's where I can develop best and become as good as possible. So this kid's got his head on straight, which is good to hear. And obviously we're gonna let this play, and there's a little bit of a comp of him here, but it's the player does seem interesting. Obviously, I don't think this business of getting 18-year-olds and stuff, young players into the club is going to end anytime soon. It seems like this is going to be our new business model.
What was he doing, man? He ran all the way to the box and then ran all the way back to the halfway line. That was a good shot, though. Decent shot.
Yeah. But he seems like a really good player. And apparently 20 other teams were scouting him as well, or was it 10? I don't remember the number I said, but I mean, Scott, do you know anything about this player? I mean, I know this was mentioned some time ago. Nusa, it was mentioned last week. I think it came up in news for Chelsea, but he seems like a talented player. Norwegian. I think he also just scored his first goal in the international break.
I think Will was talking to me about something like that. Like he did really well for his international team. But no, I have no idea who this guy is. He looks quick and shit, but he's 18.
I've got no idea.
Yeah.
I know Alex Goldberg was raving about him heavily, but that's about it.
That's how he's talking, man. He knows over 18-year-old kid.
Jesus Christ.
He does, man. He knows all the young players.
Well, he does know his youngsters.
He gets told information.
Yeah, he's playing for a club in Club Brugge, which, they're a Champions League club. Aren't they in the Champions League this season?
They are indeed. I think. I could be wrong. Maybe. I don't know.
I have to look it up, actually, real quick. I'm just going to really quickly look this up. I know they, at least last season, they were in the Champions League. So they're a competitive team. It's not like it's a bad team he's coming from.
Wait, that wasn't him. Never mind.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying something else.
I thought he hit the post. No, never mind.
Anyways, so I think this could be a good signing for us down the future. It's an interesting signing. Do you guys still think that we're going to try to sell Maatsen and get this guy in? Also, what do you think about what he said about turning us down because he wants to focus on his career?
That makes sense.
I think it's very rational, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it makes sense, and it's it shows he's got his head on his shoulders correctly. It shows he's not trying to go too much, too far, too quick. I think it makes sense. He's going to probably develop there at Bruges this season way better than he would at Chelsea this season. Way better.
Of course.
He probably wouldn't have to start this season if he joined.
It's not even about just starting. It's about just in the scenario, in the system, in the league, in terms of everything. His development is going to gain so much more from playing consistently, and just playing, and being in that kind of system at Bruges this season than it is at Chelsea. Because even at Chelsea, even if he gets some games or whatnot, and he starts, it's just, I just don't think the development is going to be there for him at Chelsea, personally.
Fair enough.
We're already seeing it's not there with other players.
Yeah,
So
we just talked about it with Mudryk, so...
Yeah, not even just Mudryk. We're seeing it with other players. We saw it last season with Cucurella. We're seeing how good Cucurella is this season. That's what we missed out on last season.
Yeah, true.
Just didn't want to play and didn't
That's
want to
actually very true. Yeah, that's actually really true.
He literally wasted a year of his development for no reason.
Yeah,
he spent a year training, basically. That's all he did was train, basically.
Yeah. So I think smart for this kid to turn it down. I hope we do come back for him and he can potentially help, because the thing is, Chelsea are going to go back, obviously. There's a good potential he could come to Chelsea. And if he does come to Chelsea, the fact that he's looking out for his career first and he's deciding to develop more at Club Bruges because he's getting more play time, if he comes to Chelsea, hopefully he's ready to start and he can prove whoever, if it's Poch or whatever the next manager is, hopefully he can prove that he deserves to be in that starting lineup.
Is he left winger?
I believe so, Chris.
Oh, okay.
But I have more here. Okay, so it's like we have a curse at Chelsea. It's time we discuss the injuries to Lavia and Cucurella.
Oh, sure.
Okay. Yeah, so this happened earlier in the week. Breaking: Romeo Lavia just got injured in Chelsea training session. It could be a muscle tear at the ankle. Moving forward, Chelsea fear Romeo Lavia will be sidelined for an extended period of time after the midfielder's suspected ankle injury was assessed on Friday. And then here we have reporting that it could be a muscle tear at the ankle, but no official confirmation. A partial tear is 3 to 6 weeks, full tear months. We don't know what it is yet. We will find out, and when we do find out, we'll talk about it, obviously. But another player that is also on this injury little stint that just happened this week, Cucurella, is set for another month on the sidelines after damaging his knee. In more positive news, Trevor Chalobah, Manuel Badiashile are nearing returns, and Armando Broja is building up his fitness. So, that being said, well, we'll discuss the DM position because of, Lavia being out still and how we're going to go forward without a number 10. Really, Cole Palmer could play it, but, is he going to be good in that position? We'll see. It's yet to be seen. But this sucks, guys. Lavia ankle tear. We just got to wait to see what happens. But I think that's going to hurt a lot. And Cucurella being out for another month additionally, fuck. that's not good. I guess where are you guys with this?
I should be expecting a lot of injuries at this point because we just get seen injury after injury after injury. It doesn't stop. Maybe this is the reason why we buy so many players, so many young players or whatever. We just buy so there's a replacement for the next replacement who gets injured next. Obviously in Cuckoo that hit that was a bad injury. For me, that's one of our worst injuries. Rich James is out as well, of course. And then you got obviously for Lavia. If we play with a 4-2-3-1 formation, Lavia is a bench player. Gallagher can just fill in as a bench player still. If it's a midfield of 3, then we're going to miss Lavia. We have to use Gallagher instead of Lavia. Lavia is a great player, obviously for Southampton. He did really well. Never got to see him play at Chelsea yet, but hopefully it's not a long injury with him. And it's like Cucurella as well. I'm not sure how long he's out, but he looked good in his second game anyway. He played. He looked quite good. He got a goal. So he's one of our scorers as well. So yeah, it just sucks. But I'm just numb to it now because the last few seasons we've been picking up injuries a lot across the team. A lot of injuries. I think we pick up the most injuries out of the league, out of the top clubs anyway, the big teams. I think we pick up the most injuries. I know Liverpool used to have bad of injuries, but we're we're looking a lot worse.
I want to say this is gonna be like, this is looking to be our third season in a row where we are just looking so injury prone again. And I have to ask, how much of this is the medical staff, or is it just bad luck?
I think I hope
it's more just bad luck at this point, especially with some players. Like some players, it's just they're injury prone, and you bought them when they're injury prone. Like this is what you expect. Fofana, for example.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I necessarily blame the medical staff, because I don't know what I just don't know what their role is or their job is in terms of it, like in terms of preventing injuries. Like I think it's just I think there's a lot of factors, to be completely honest. I think there's a lot of factors. I think training comes down to it as well. Like I do think that plays a part, because if you're running, like we see it, like players into the ground in training, eventually they're going to get injured. Obviously, we don't watch the training sessions, so we don't know how hard they are being pushed and things like that. But yeah, I don't like this bad luck and this like cursed nonsense. Yeah. And I know a lot of people it's kind of tongue in cheek. But yeah, this idea of it being bad luck, no, this isn't bad luck at this point. Like, because this isn't. It's not like all of these injuries are contact injuries. Well, some of them are. Obviously, Carney's was, and Kunku's was, I think, as well.
And Cucu was some of his knee.
Lavia, we don't know whether it's contact injury or not. But like Fofana's wasn't. Badiashile's wasn't. I think Reece James, that wasn't. I don't think Chalobah's was. Like.
Chalobah wasn't. No. Like with the injuries we've had, it's like Reece James.
I'm trying to think of the other injuries we've had.
I will say this is the injury list I can see right now in front of me. Like Reece James, Chalobah, Bettinelli, the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper, right? Carney, Brozier, Lavia, and Cucu, Fofana, Badiashile, and Malang Sarr. Malang Sarr is a rib injury, apparently.
Brozier wasn't a contact injury as well.
Yeah.
Badiashile groin.
Badiashile wasn't a contact either.
I don't know what it is. Like, I think it's. I think it's a mix of everything. I just hate this idea of this. Like, it's coincidence. It's bad luck. Like, bad luck is
injuries, man.
I said there comes a point where it's not bad luck anymore. Like we've had so many injuries, like over the past like 2-3 years. It's not bad luck anymore. Especially the fact that like it's some of it is in players and other it is there's I don't know what the explanation is. There probably is an explanation.
I will. So I know Carney being out is really unfortunate because we do need a number 10, but there's a possibility Palmer can, go into that role and do just fine. But not having a lone 6, I think, does pose an issue. Gallagher can't do it. We know Gallagher can't do it. I also don't think we want to keep Gallagher in this midfield because when it comes to tackling and breaking up the play, he's been doing great. Don't get me wrong. But going forward, progressive passing, keeping the possession, not so much. And that's where I think Chris mentioned why we're probably getting all these players. And I think this is where we might have an opportunity to see this player shine. So Leslie Ugochukwu, who is a DM, we brought to be a DM, could end up becoming a crucial member of our rotation in the next few weeks if he plays his cards right. None of Enzo, Caicedo, Gallagher seemed fully comfortable as a deeper number 6 that was meant to be Lavia's slot, but his injury opens the door for Leslie. And here we have a chart, which I actually wish I could make a little bigger. The strengths being special ball winning skills, impressive reading of the game, can retain the ball well after winning it. 1v1 skills are good and improving. Size helps him completely aerially because he is humongous, actually. I think he might be, besides, I think the Sassi might be our tallest player, but this guy might be like second in running. I'd have to look it up. But room to improve. It says here needs to be braver in progressing the ball through passing and carrying. Can use his body better to win fouls. Needs to improve comfort in the final third. But this guy could be our little bit of our saving grace if he comes good. And we look at it right here. Ball winning ability is high. We have the defensive awareness is high. Like, he's got some pretty good stats when it comes to the DM position, and he is a DM. He was playing a DM in Stade Rennais. So, what do you guys think of giving this guy a fair run of games to see how he does? I think when the little we've seen of him so far, he hasn't been a bad.
He's a big player, right? I swear. When he was it the Carabao Cup?
He's huge. Yeah,
he's a huge unit, man. He's a huge unit. He's a massive guy. I do like that, like in a DM, man, being a big guy like that. But I'm not sure how well he played. But like, as a rotational player, like I keep him as like that. Rotational player. Well, take it. I mean,
the thing is though, when you have a 4-3-3, right? Who are you going to put in that lone six? You'd have to put this guy.
If it's 4-3-3, though, I'm saying it could be a 4-2-3-1 formation with Kepa. What, did you guys say that too?
I'll be honest, like, this isn't anything against Leslie, but I think our issues in this team are not fixed with him coming into the squad because our issues are not in the sixth position. Like, in the sixth position, we're actually not too bad, despite the problems and the errors that Caicedo has made so far and the fact that Gallagher isn't reachable for there. Our issues are not there. Our issues are the fact we have no 10, and he doesn't fix that. Like, so the ideal starting lineup or the ideal three in midfield for me are Enzo and Caicedo behind Palmer. So where Leslie doesn't fit in that unless you're going to bench Caicedo. So you're going to bench your most expensive midfielder.
No, I like it. That's why I see it.
There's a place for him in the team. I was going to say there's not a place for him. There's a place for him in the squad, and I want him to get game time because he's looked impressive against Wimbledon. And I think he played another game. I think he came on in another game. I saw him come in West Ham, but it wasn't that game. Did he come in against Luton? Maybe I can't remember. But he looked impressive against Wimbledon, from what I heard. It's just there's just not a place for him in this team. Like, unless we're going to continue with the 4-3-3, which if we are, there's no creativity. Like, there's no, like, we're just hampering Jackson. Unless you're going to, I don't know where the creativity comes in midfield in terms of, obviously you've got Enzo, but just in terms of, link up play with Jackson and creativity is the wrong word. I don't know where just the help for Jackson is going to come from the midfield, because none of the midfielders at the moment, with the way they're being asked to play, are helping Jackson at all. So he just is isolated every game. So I like Cucurella, but I don't see him coming in doesn't fix the issues. Like, our issues are we have no 10.
Fair enough.
I think our midfielders. I was gonna say our midfielders this season our best area. I think has been better in defense and attack. And the goalkeeper, I guess. But our midfield is actually quite good because we literally addressed getting Caicedo and we got Enzo. We even got Gallagher on the bench as well if we want to use him, and now we got this Leslie midfielder. So we got a lot of good midfielders. We'll just probably need to start Cole Palmer as a 10 in front of the two DMs. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see Leslie starting. I don't think that's the answer for Chelsea.
Okay, fair enough, guys. We got a few more, two more stories before we wrap it up. But if you guys haven't done so already, 50 of you guys watching, thank you for sticking around. I know it's international break. I know things have been a little bit of a lull, but hey, we're actually managing to provide you a show, which I was surprised we're even going this long. We got two more topics though. We'll close it out, but make sure you are smashing the like if you haven't done so already, and subscribing if you're new to the channel. What I wanted to bring up next was this one, Cucurella. So I know people want to criticize the board and all this stuff because of, players not leaving when they should have and so on and so forth. But apparently, one thing that people seem to leave out is what the players actually want. Like, it's easy to say, oh, this player should go and all that stuff, but sometimes these players don't want to leave. So here we have Cucurella, Fabrizio Romano. In January, Manchester City presented a loan with buy option clause for Marc Cucurella, but Chelsea rejected it. Then Leipzig, Sevilla, Atletico Madrid, Real Sociedad approached Chelsea this summer. However, the player decided he wanted to stay at Chelsea. Going forward, the next tweet, there were more teams involved as well. Fulham also tried on deadline day. However, it was the player who decided to carry on at Chelsea and fight for his place despite the loan proposal. So there were options to loan out Marco Cucurella, and he's deciding to fight for his spot. And you know what? I gotta be honest. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I don't think Cucurella is a bad player. I think he's had some pretty unfortunate mistakes that have led to pretty pivotal moments in our previous games where he's played and started. But I think this player has the potential to be really, really good. And I know I've been saying that, like, that's been like my freaking keyword all days. I said it with Mudryk, and I said it with Nusa. I forgot his name already. It doesn't matter. But point being is that, like, we've seen what Cucurella has done or can do at Brighton before getting him. Manchester City wanted him. Manchester City didn't want him for nothing. There is a good player there. I think we just need to be, need to give him time and patience, with the mistakes and stuff. Like, I don't know where I'm going with this. My point being is that I fully believe in Cucurella. I think he's just been a victim of unfortunate circumstances when it comes to the mistakes, because overall, like, you look at the games outside of those mistakes, he's been good defensively. And I think right now, where we don't know what's going to happen with Chilwell, if he's going to stay at left wing or if he's going to come back to left back and be a little bit of a defensive liability at left back, at least Cucurella, that at left back he's good defending. I don't know what you guys think about this. If you wanted it, I think, Scott, you don't mind Cucurella staying. I think you actually think he's a decent player.
I do. I'm happy he's staying. I think he gets given a bad rep, or like I think the leeway that's given to other players isn't given to him and to others. He's not the only one. So I'm very glad he's staying. I do think he's a good player. He had his issues last season.
Sure.
But a lot of players did. I'm glad he's staying. Like some of the discourse I've seen around it from certain accounts, certain big accounts, is pathetic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just glad he's staying. I think it's quite telling that this is the second time that City have come in for him. So it's quite to see something in him. Like,
yeah, that's actually a good point. They came in for him last season.
By the way? No, they came in for him before we bought him.
Well, no, before we bought him, right? And then they came in for him in January, and we turned it down. By January, we already looked like shit, and he was playing plenty. They still wanted him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know. Chris, what do you think about this?
I would have kept him this season because I felt like last season was just a disaster, like from coach to like everything what's just happened. So and last season he barely he did play a few games last season, but he didn't. I felt like he didn't play enough. This season he hasn't played any. I don't think as I can see, he hasn't played any minutes. I believe that he should deserve some minutes play.
He played in AFC Wimbledon. That's about it, though.
Okay, yeah, we didn't get to see that match either.
Yeah.
So so I believe he should play left back. Get a chance to play left back, play Colwell as a centre back or someone else, and like Chilwell has not played well this season so far, so I believe Chilwell should be holding the bench as well. But Chilwell's not even playing left back, so it's not even like a matter of him and Cucurella. Cucurella has been unfairly treated as well. I definitely agree with that. Like even the Chelsea supporters at the ground like boo him and everything. Like. Already, like they're just throwing him out, like not even giving him a proper chance. Like you always gotta give a player. I felt like I always say this. Always give a player a second season. Normally, I always say give him a second chance, see what they can do. But
yeah, true.
And a lot of teams do rate him as well. So maybe we should have give him a chance. See what he can do at Chelsea under Poch, unless Poch doesn't want him for some reason.
Yeah, which I think, again, if that's the case is that Poch doesn't want him, then I'm looking at Poch really confused, really confused. But we'll see. Like, I respect that Cucurella wants to stay and fight for his place. I think listen, I know this doesn't count for anything on the pitch, but he genuinely is like a really good guy. I think he went through a lot last season. between the harassment from the fans and also personal stuff.
His tonsils at one point. He was like, he was ill, and
he was really ill and playing ill as well.
He was losing weight at one point quite badly, like
Mm-hmm.
because how ill he was of his tonsils or something. So he did go through things, like you said, but
So
he definitely needs that chance.
Yeah, I think he needs a chance. We'll see what happens this season with him. But I think to end it on this one, I think it's gonna be. I know what you're gonna say, but we'll see what Chris has to say. A certain player had a few comments to say, and it's really funny how this guy is saying what he's saying, like he's now the next Courtois. Kepa has been doing some talking about Chelsea and his move to Real Madrid. And this guy's pretending like he's already at Real. My guy, it's a loan, okay? You're not okay. Let's just read it. Kepa, I faced Real 3 times with Chelsea when I arrived. I always turned left to the visitors' dressing room, but I wanted to turn right to the local dressing room. Now playing with Madrid at the new Bernabeu is a pleasure. Oh my god.
The dressing room comment is quite funny, I guess. It's a bit odd.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid. If he actually said this, is so stupid. But okay, continue.
I haven't heard him say it, but
Kepa feels something with Chelsea is broken. In any case, next summer priority of both Chelsea and Kepa is to find a solution away from Chelsea. Okay.
He's a broken keeper too, but
true. Exactly. That's where I'm getting at too, Chris. Kepa, my intention is to stay for more than a year. It only took a couple of calls because when Real Madrid call, it is different. I felt the Chelsea project was not the right one.
Well, he is right about Real Madrid. Real Madrid is that different team. It's that they can knock you one. Like Real Madrid, it's hard to turn down Real Madrid, and he's Spanish, so maybe Real Madrid's like his dream team. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know if he should be saying all this because he is under contract at Chelsea, and he has to.
I know that's what I mean. It's like, dude, what the.
Has he forgotten as well? Like Courtois is going to be returning next season for sure and taking that number 1 spot because Courtois is the best keeper in the world, or Alisson, you can say, one or two. Kepa is nowhere near as Courtois' levels, like as a keeper, or even on. I think kicking Courtois better on the ball as well over Kepa. Kepa will be coming back to Chelsea and he's going to be saying all this shit, and then they say, "Okay, you said all this shit, man. You're probably not even going to get a starting choice now under Poch or whoever's the manager by then."
And some final comments he made here. In El Laguero, Kepa Arrizabalaga assured that he would love to stay. I have just arrived. I have been there for 2 weeks. We are going to see it, and I am delighted to stay. We also have to reach an agreement. But yeah, like you're saying all this like you're already here permanently. My guy, like you're on a loan. You have to actually impress and like convince Real Madrid that you're the next guy that's gonna take over the Courtois' place. So it's baffling to me. He's saying how, like I get it. Like don't get me wrong. Like I get it. He's Spaniard. This is his dream. I mean, most Spaniards, their dream is to play for Barcelona or Real Madrid. I get that, right? Like, and he's all excited and stuff. But like, I thought he was a little smarter about how more professional, I should say. He's not acting professional right now.
He refused to he refused the manager to sub him off on point. So I don't know. Like, and I don't think he he might think he can overtake Courtois' position, but like I don't think he's actually going to really think that because Courtois is literally on another level to him. I think he can be like a bench player, like cup competitions, and come here like start now and then, but like obviously be part of Real Madrid's success and team or whatever. I don't know how much we were selling for. Like I think Chelsea would be open to sell him. I really do. Like I think if we're like 20 million. Or even 30 million somehow, I think Chelsea definitely would accept because like he's on 150k a week we probably want to get rid of the guy because he's on too much wages as well, and he's just not really worked out at Chelsea like the whole time. So I wouldn't mind selling. I really wouldn't mind selling Kepa. I have nothing really against Kepa ever. I felt like sometimes it's a bit harsh what people say about him, like, oh, we should have done better in this save when it's like a near impossible save.
I mean, Scott, I'm pretty sure I know what you're going to say, but just out of curiosity, what do you think about this whole thing?
Good riddance to useless shit.
Yeah.
I thought he was just going to say, I could give. Yeah, oh, yeah, there you go.
No, like he could say these comments. It means nothing. My man's gone there. My man's literally my man's the second choice goalkeeper. Like, should be second choice goalkeeper. The only reason he's there is because Courtois got injured. Like, he thinks he's special. He's not. He's literally shit.
That, honestly,
Hot shit. He's awful. He is terrible. Like, he can say what he wants. Like, he can go and sign there for like give it a year and they'll get rid of him because they did that with better keepers than him.
Actually, that is a good point that he's saying. Like, he's like, it almost seems based on these comments. Again, you never know what the truth is. The truth is somewhere between. Maybe he is saying this, maybe he's not. But like, based on these comments, it almost seems like he's convinced himself that he's earned this position at Real Madrid and that they actually want him because of like he's a good keeper. And it's almost like he's forgetting the fact that Courtois is injured. Like it's a delusion almost.
Yeah, because he's a delusional fuck. That's why.
Jesus. I thought Scott was going to say.
I wonder
I can care less what he says as long as he goes.
Hey, there were like when everyone left in the summer, there were 4 players in this team that I couldn't give a flying fuck about when they left. Like everyone else, like whether it was Ziyech, whether it was Pulisic, whether it was Loftus-Cheek, whether it was Mendy, whoever it was, even Koulibaly, right?
Yeah.
I wish them the best wherever they went. There were 4 players. One is yet to leave. Hopefully it's soon. The other 3 all left, whether permanently or on loans. And I hope their careers end up with nothing. I hope their careers go downhill. I hope they're released. I hope they end up like Mendy did.
Oh, poor Mendy.
He is one of them. Fuck it.
Oh my god. But hey, no, I get it. That's give or take what I thought Scott's take would be. So that being said, hey, Kepa, just perform well so you can go there and stay there. We don't want to have to. Actually, even if he doesn't perform, yeah.
Even if he doesn't perform well, he'll come back, have a year left on his deal, and he won't resign. So then he'll be gone. So
I was gonna say, even if he doesn't perform well, I feel like Chelsea will find a way to sell him on a year left on his contract. I think that there will be a way to do it. I'm not gonna lose hope. Yeah, I won't lose hope on selling Kepa next season, even if he comes back. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, he's almost gone. We almost got rid of him. So hopefully the process gets sped up and we can get rid of him in the summer instead of having to wait till his contract ends and he goes on a free. But that being said, ladies and gents, we're gonna close it out right here. Thank you so much for hanging out with us on this very dry when it comes to news week for Chelsea. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the content. Hopefully you guys found something entertaining in all of this. I'm gonna go ahead and, as usual, raid the boys at Sarcasm City. We're gonna go ahead and copy and paste this raid message over there. And yeah, let them know where you're coming from essentially with the raid message. But as always, guys, be sure to smash up the like buttons as it does help us with the algorithm, especially in this time of the season where we have the international break. Subscribing also helps us out big time. We are trying to hit 3,000, not 300,000, 3,000 subscribers. So help us out by subscribing as well. Hit the bell notification so you don't miss out when we do go live in the future. We will be doing other shows as well in the upcoming week and such before we come back to Chelsea. So be sure to tune in on that as well. And check out the links below for the Discord, the Twitter page, Ahmed's channel, Sarcasm City, where I'm sending you right now, and so on and so forth. All that stuff is in the description. Let us know in the comments what you think about all the things we discussed, the Mudryk topic, the injury little crisis that we have going on, Kepa's comments. Let us know whatever you want in the comments down below, and I'll surely be reading them in my free time and maybe responding as well. Big up to Scott, Ahmed, Real Chris for being here today. I know it's been a bit of a lull. We're missing out on Chelsea, but hey, we're 1 week left, right? Give or take. When does Chelsea come back?
Next weekend.
Next Sunday the 17th. So yeah, Sunday the 17th, we got Chelsea back, and yeah, we'll see how things go from there. But as always, guys, thank you so much for being here. Go ahead, copy and paste, and spam that raid message over on Sarcasm City's chat. Also, before I forget, don't forget, guys, to look into the membership. Big shout out to the proper casual and higher tiered members, which would be Winter Surfer, OG Turbo Jesus, Dark, Scott, Adrian, and Will. Thank you guys for being proper casual members and higher tier members. Also, thank you to all our other members as well for supporting the channel. But guys, that's all I have for you today. As always, have a good night and stay casual. Peace.